Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first session of the Unwritten live play for Mysterium. We are going to run a few people through some Denis mayhem. Mayhem in the Cavern. That's the ticket here. We're going to use this as a way to introduce people to Unwritten. So we'll be talking, Vee will be talking mechanics here and there. This is what you're using. This is how it works. We're going to start out with Vee setting up everybody's characters. Everybody got a pre-generated, partially pre-generated character, and we're going to go through and finish filling those out. So that'll give people a little bit of an idea of what it's like to make a character for Unwritten. So take it away, Vee.
Okie doke. I wanted to check. We've got 3 people on right now. Alana and Meva and Carol. Hi. I wanted you to ask you one at a time what sort of experience you have with role-playing games, if any at all. Let's start with Meva.
I have been playing role-playing games, mostly tabletop, since the late 80s. Mm-hmm. I've played a few editions of D&D, Shadowrun. What else have I played?
So you know D6s a lot, really well, huh?
Yes, I have a lot of D6s. I have a lot of D10s. I've actually have a lot of different shaped dice. When somebody makes polyhedral dice jokes, I get them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm vision impaired, so I had to buy the dice with the big numbers.
Oh, there you go.
So let's see. Lots of tabletop. I love LARPing because I'm also a theater person. So
great.
Done some Changeling LARP, Star Wars LARP.
Nice.
But actually, I will say this to close. My favorite game mechanics were in the Babylon 5 RPG. Okay. It was very, very smooth. Anybody who's played it probably realizes that. But cool. Yeah, I've played quite a few different game systems. Tales from the Floating Vagabond, GURPS.
Oh wow, yeah. Tales of the Floating Vagabond. That's an old one.
It is. Toon too.
Toon, yeah. I have a copy of Tales of the Floating Vagabond. So.
Oh wow.
So sorry a little bit there, Alyssa. Have you done any games with Fate at all?
I have not. Fate is new to me.
Okay. Okie doke. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that when it comes time. Alana, what's your experience?
Yeah. I have experience with a few different tabletop roleplay systems. I did some D&D, and I think it was Unknown Armies in college.
Ooh, Unknown Armies.
Which has some cool like mechanics to it.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, and I actually helped GM a campaign one semester in college, but this is some years ago, and it was kind of a rules light game that we kind of cobbled together. It was mainly focused around world building and character and story. As far as those things go, I also have some experience with like Meva was saying, with LARPing. It's been a little while for that as well, but a lot of this was back when I was in college. They did like a 100 to 200 person like LARP every spring.
Nice.
So that was a really great opportunity.
Was it vampire LARP or?
It was a different LARP every year. It was usually very genre bending. They tried to nice. Accommodate everyone's genre interest.
Oh, really? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Carol, what sort of experience with role-playing do you have, if any at all?
I was in college in the 80s. And so we did role-playing Dungeons and Dragons, but nothing was on the computer. It was the old-fashioned rolling of the dice, just everything was. I still have my game book, my character book. I found it the other week. I couldn't believe I still had it. I did. I know Dave's going to pick on me here, but it was a lot of fun. After college, I didn't have a lot of time. Life got in the way. So this is really picking up where I left off back in the 1980s.
Sounds good. One thing I'll say real quick is that we do have a slot open, so we might be pulling another person in. Somebody had to unfortunately cancel at the last minute. But we will continue just moving forward until that time, and maybe we'll take care of it from there. I'll go off and talk about my experience. I mean, obviously, I wrote Unwritten with Eleri. I've been role playing since I was 5 years old. D&D, I did D&D back in the day. I moved on to GURPS. I've done Shadowrun. Did a lot of World Darkness, like a lot of World Darkness. And a lot of LARP. Wow, like a lot of LARP. Ran a LARP in North Carolina for a while. I've played a lot of obscure games. Unknown Armies. I actually had a copy of Unknown Armies before it actually got printed. I got them to send me a copy. I played In Nomine, Over the Edge, Primetime Adventures, and then I got into the Fate world where I played the Dresden Files role-playing game. I've run a couple of their Fate games as well, and obviously Unwritten. And then moved on. I've also done lots of Powered by the Apocalypse and other strange and freeform games. So, as I said in the live stream, I wrote Unwritten to try to kind of bring my fandoms together. And so we'll be doing a little bit of that. And, it sounds like nobody really has any Fate experience. So like I said, I will be pausing. We will be pausing the game to talk over different mechanics as they come up. The actual, game mastering will be done by Eleri. I'm here to provide mechanical support and to kind of, occasionally pontificate on the mechanics.
And the story bits, she's the crunchy bits.
Yes. I just quick question, Eleri. I'm in gallery view right now. Does it look like that to you?
Yes. Looks
okay,
good.
Good. Okay, making sure there's little technical bits.
And I'm getting the other person set up. So,
okay, sure.
Go ahead and go through character stuff, and I will be getting this other person set up.
Mm-hmm. To go over just the very basics, Fate is a very narrative game. There's a very little number crunch. There's a lot of very narratively focused and dramatically focused mechanics. You'll see on your character sheet that you'll have something that says it's called a high concept. And this is what's in Fate's called an aspect. Aspects are things that matter. And anything can have an aspect. You can have an aspect of, wow, you're in a warehouse. It's really dark. Well, the aspect is it's really dark. And that means it's important. Aspects are sort of like if you would take a movie, they're what the camera kind of lingers over for a while. So like, you see the shot of the room and it lingers over the pistol in the corner, that pistol is going to be important. So that's an aspect. Pistol in the room. Or, the room is very dark, or, tempers are frayed and everyone is tense. So we quantify things in a qualitative way by having things that describe the important points. The high concept on your character sheet is an aspect. It's sort of your overall description. Someone would say, who's this character? Well, that's, a well-traveled anthropologist. Or, that's, the modern, that person's a modern nomad. And you can kind of, come back to that whenever you need to, in the sense of, what would I be doing? What would a modern nomad do? That sort of thing. You'll also see that you have journey aspects. And these are other things about you that are important to who your character is. We've filled in one for you. And then you can also, we'll have a chance to fill in the second one if you like, so that you can add your own little twist to the character. And it could be anything from, another description like, Atris has the, Atris's high concept is absent-minded creative, maybe. And then you could have, an aspect that is, feels guilty about his kids. Or you have, Yisha's high concept of, I am the grower. And then you could have, aspects like Atris's bad parenting. So, these are all important things. Or you can have aspects like, I've got a really cool, multi-tool with me. Or, my father never, my father never liked me. It could be anything. But it's important to your character. And by putting that as your aspect, you're telling me and Eleri that that's important to you and we should play with it. So that's one of the key concepts is aspects, and you'll see them appear and disappear, and I'll kind of interject every once in a while and go like, that's an aspect. In terms of roles, you have skills on your character sheet. There's in sort of a pyramid format, and that top one, your top skill, and it'll be listed, great, good, fair, adequate, to list your skills and how good you are at them. Everybody has one at great. That's what you're good at. That's your apex skill. And when we come to need to do a roll, we will take you'll take that. We'll do a dice roll, which we use special type of dice called fate or fudge dice. These are D6 dice with pluses and minuses. And you probably do not have it on hand, but I've got something right here on my screen that we can use as a dice roller. And you'll take your skill, we'll roll the dice, add the pluses, subtract the minuses, and then combine that with your skill, and then subtract the difficulty from it. And that's how well you did. So if if it's, you have a skill of 4 and you roll a 0, you rolled a 4 total, and then on top of, and then, if the difficulty was 4, you did 0, which is, adequate. You barely got it. And you can use those numbers next to your skills as sort of an idea of, how good you did. I got a 1, I got a +1. You did you did fair. I got a +4. You did great. Cool. And we'll get into more details about that and what those implications are as we go on. But that's the basic mechanics. And there are little things here and there, and I'll interrupt as we go along, but those are the things to remember. So I was going to have you each kind of, go ahead and read your high concept out to everybody so they know who you are. And if you've come up with a name, you can give the character's name at that point. And if you said, there's another, we'll read your journey aspect. And if there's another one you want to add right then, that's great. If you think of a great idea, you don't have an idea right now, you think of one later, we'll put it in. So, okay, we'll start the other direction. We'll start with Carol.
Okay.
What's your high concept?
Be really quick. Can you make sure that you're letting the new person in?
I don't see them.
Okay.
Have them try to get in again. Wait, let's see here. Oh, wait, now they're showing up. Okay.
Okay. Let me see if I get this right. High concept is I'm lost. Okay. The high concept. Tell me again. High concept.
Okay, so you were playing the Denis Ancestry. So you've got a high concept that says Denis Ancestry Believer.
Right. Whose heritage is a camper.
Yeah, and she's this person is a believes in believes in the cavern, believes that they belong there, they're called,
Right.
They're certain that somewhere if they go back far enough, they've got some Denis blood.
Right. Okay, and that's the high concept. That's that. Okay. All right, I understand. That's his description.
Yeah.
For For me, that character would be somebody who would be digging in the heritage to see if they are connected themselves.
Makes perfect sense. I know you've got a journey aspect there of my heritage is the cavern, which means that you've put a lot of effort and time, and you've invested a lot in the cavern as your future. And there's a blank there. You can decide if you want to use that, if you want to do some extra stuff on there. Do you have a character name yet?
Do I have a character name? I would probably use the name that I have in game. And I go by Karoh, Caro.
Caro? Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, and
that makes sense. Okay. So there's Caro. And we got a new person who's joined in. Erica.
Howdy.
Hi. Well, welcome to the game. And I think that we didn't go over anything particularly deep. Can you just quickly talk about what sort of gaming experience you might have?
I was totally watching on YouTube and then also Discording on my computer. So I did catch pretty much everything except the part where I was like, well, I don't want to listen to it and be on Zoom. That would be confusing. So I missed that little bit. But as to, experience, I've done a bit of D&D, some D20 Modern, and White Wolf.
White Wolf, yeah. Well, Doctor.
So I've got lots of dice. Don't worry. I collect those at least. But I haven't had a chance to play much of anything in the last, say, even 10 years. Tabletop. So I've been really wanting to get back into it. So I'm really excited.
Sounds great. Well, hopefully this will be interesting for you. And I'll come back around to you with your character after I do everybody else. So
I'm working on that.
Sounds great. Okay, Elena. Okay, how am I mispronouncing your name?
I think you got it right the first time. It is Alana.
Alana. Okay, just making certain. So Alana, let's go ahead and read your high concept, and let's talk about your character.
Okay, my high concept is
just a lottery.
Well-traveled anthropologist, and I also have the journey aspect, seeker of knowledge, and I was thinking of adding another aspect, which is discovering her limits.
Can you say that again? There was a little bit of static on the line.
I was thinking of adding another aspect, which is fear of discovering her limits.
That's a very good aspect. That's a very good character point to have.
Cool. Thanks.
So write that in there.
And for name, kind of arbitrary, but how about Kathy Elroy?
Kathy Elroy, sounds good. Sounds good. So we've got well-traveled anthropologist, seeker of knowledge, and afraid of. How did you exactly put it again?
Like afraid of discovering her limits.
Okay. Write that down to make sure I've got it. Sounds great. Okie doke. Meva?
Okay, I have to look here. I have to look at both a paper and Chrome.
No problem.
Okay, so I'll just keep my name, Meva. The high concept is modern nomad adventure. My first journey aspect is what's over there? That's not typecasting or anything. My second journey aspect is also not typecasting. Not really. I call it I know where I am mostly. The description of that is it's difficult to get me lost. But when it does happen, I have to take a minute to calm down. I'm not panicked. I'm mad.
Fair enough. Sounds good. Sounds like a good character there. Okie doke. I don't know, Erica, if you've had enough time or.
Well, at least I have what you've provided, and sure. I'll make up the rest as I go along.
That's actually very, very common in this sort of game, so don't feel bad about that.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I mean, we will make up stuff as we go along, and the same sort of thing that you do in any Unwritten game or any Fate game is there's a lot of, hey, that would be cool, and we roll with it.
I do love improv, so that comes in handy. So I chose the newly called Explorer as my high concept. The journey aspect first was boundless enthusiasm, which seems actually quite fitting. It's a little, I think it's a little close to home, this particular role. And I've chosen another aspect that's a information overload.
Ah, okay. Lots going on, huh?
Yeah, I just, not only is it boundless enthusiasm, but like a desire to know all these things and like gather all the information and go, whoa, wait. Like there's too much going on. I shouldn't be trying to do everything at once.
Sure.
So I think that would be, something that could have some consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you have a name for your character?
Might as well just go with my cavern name, Quaxo.
Quaxo, okay.
Yeah. Again?
Hmm?
Quaxo?
Yeah, Quaxo. That's
Quaxo. Okay. Okay, sounds.
Yeah, I'm a fan of musicals.
Okie doke. So that's kind of, our technical character, discussion, that sort of thing. I will pass over to Eleri to kind of start setting the scene.
Okay, so let me just make sure I've got everybody's character names right. We have Caro, we have Katha Island, we have Quaxo. Meva, what was your character name again?
Meva.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't completely missed it.
So wait, what was it? One more time.
Meva.
You're just going to stay with her name? Okay.
Yep.
No problem.
And your characters will get a chance to talk to each other and introduce each other. That's what I kind of want to start with is, how do you guys know each other in Cavern? Where have you, so we're going to start out, we're sitting in the Callow pub. So how have you guys gathered together there? Do you know each other? Have you been hanging out together? For the newly called, have you just kind of wandered down there and gone, oh, hey, here's a bunch of people sitting around?
And here's a place where you can kind of, decide, hey, we saw each other, you were down at the, thing that happened at that dance party in Tessinaut, weren't you? That sort of thing. So let's say hey, Erica, choose, let's say choose one person, Carol, Meva, or Alana, and tell me how you've met them.
I have a sneaking suspicion that I've met Meva as an injured explorer, and I use first aid skills. It's generally how I meet people.
There you go. So you helped Meva out one time when she got hurt.
I think so.
Sounds great. Okay, so Meva, you have you run into Caro before. How did you meet Caro?
I met Caro at the Great Zero dance party.
There you go.
I'm a great dancer.
There you go. And Caro, you have met Cassie, who is Alana's character. Where have you met Cassie before?
Let's see. I was doing research in books, and she happened to be passing through. She was looking for a particular linking book.
There we go. So yeah, just so you have a little bit of history. You've seen, hey, I know who you are. That's an important part of Unwritten, is that you sit down, you figure out how everybody knows each other, and so you have that sort of background. There you go. Over to you, Eleri.
So the Cavern is pretty hopping lately. Everybody's been pretty busy. There's been expeditions going out. The skydivers are doing their usual thing. But there's also been some weirdness happening. And weirder than normal for Denis, because, magically teleporting through books isn't, just weird enough. It's starting to look like Denis might be haunted. And more even than, like, if you've ever hung around Echo and she talks about being able to see things and people call her the crazy ghost lady of Denis, you know, she said, no, this isn't my thing. This is different. For a couple of weeks now, people have been seeing an apparition in Denis. And what happens is they see this flickering bluish figure. It's definitely human shaped. It seems to flicker in and out. There's a sound that goes with it that seems really familiar. Like if the sound would just keep going, people could figure out what it was, but it sounds really familiar. Sometimes you could almost make out words that are happening. And it will flicker for a little bit and then it will disappear. And it's been seen all over the cavern. It's been seen in the hoods. It's been seen in the Great Zero. It's been everywhere. So a lot of people have seen this. So it is the hot topic of conversation. And there's massive amounts of speculation as to what's going on. Somebody's playing with the Great Zero. Yisha's up to something. It's a ghost. I mean, what's going on here? So that's what everybody's been talking about. And tonight we're hanging out in the Callow pub. A guy named Mike, big Irish guy, has taken charge of the pub and is, currently testing. Tonight he's doing a special testing of whiskey that he's made from a grain on some age, and he wants to see how it works. And it's everybody's feeling pretty good. Even the people who are just drinking orange juice, everybody's happy, hanging out. But everybody's talking about this haunting that's happening. And as everybody's talking, you start to hear that sound. And the air seems to crackle. And suddenly there's the apparition right in the middle of the pub. And again, it's obviously human shaped. It's obviously a somebody. And you can kind of see it. And everybody's keys go nuts. Everybody's keys are flickering in and out, and static is happening. And you start to hear a man's voice and it vanishes. And it's dead quiet because what the heck just happened? Oh my gosh. There's no sound. Everybody's keys have turned off. And there's this pause. And then suddenly everybody's talking, trying to figure out what's going on. Except for you guys. Because when you look down at your screen, your keys are still working. Not only are your keys still working, but there's an incoming message that looks for all the world like it came from Victor Laxman. And it looks like this. Vee, can you screen share that, please, in that link I gave you? It's the Google Drive I shared with you. That's what's on your screen. And as far as you can tell, you're the only people who have this.
Right, starting to leave language. Uh-oh.
So we're going to the coordinates, right?
Yeah, so this would be a good time to start using some skills. Vee, you want to tackle with that?
Sure. Okay. And this is a point where you as a player can use your own deductive skills if you like, or if you as a character, you think your character would probably figure this out better. There are ways in Unwritten that we can, your character can give you hints, or even figure things out entirely. if you think you want to, if you want to react to something, you want to use any skills, you want to check things out, go ahead and let me know. Like I said, or like I said, you can, tackle it as a player, whichever you prefer.
I'm gonna look.
I'll go ahead and put that picture in our Discord too, so that you guys can look at it there, so it doesn't have to be screen shared the whole time.
In the Discord.
Okay.
4, 3, 6, 5.
I'll have my third screen open now. It'll work.
8. No. 4, 3, 6, 1, 8. 5. 2.
So I think Cassie is especially spooked by all of this because despite being a well-traveled anthropologist, she hasn't spent much time in the cavern yet and is just starting this new phase of her research. And this is certainly one of those things that triggers the fear of discovering her limits, like the fear of the supernatural, of the unknowable. But she does have this social ease skill where if she's in a tense social situation, she gets a bonus to rapport rolls. And I'm not really sure exactly when those rolls come up, but I kind of want to use this skill to maybe identify good allies in the situation, which it seems like is everyone on this call right now, like everyone else who also got this message and is working on it. So,
sure. So what you're describing is that ability you're describing is called a stunt. And it's just a little bit of extra rules that apply just to you. And in this case, like you said, you get a plus on some rapport rolls. Rapport skill allows you to talk to people. So I'm guessing you probably would want to do is kind of talk around, and not only you'll know that that you'll figure out that these other people obviously the players characters have gotten this, but you can kind of find out what other people are thinking, see who might be, like you said, who'd be useful. So that would be a roll. So what's your rapport skill?
It's a plus, my rapport skill is a +3, is a good.
Mm-hmm. And then you would get a +2 on it because of your stunt, because it applies to this situation.
Okay.
And we're gonna, it's gonna be a difficulty of a 5. So you've got 5. The difficulty is 5, and I'm going to click your. Can you see? Actually, you guys can't see the dice roller at the moment. So
yeah, go ahead and take it off screen sharing. I posted the link for it.
Okay. So, and we'll go do a quick roll here. Click through. Okay. So, 2 blanks, 2 pluses. That's a 2. Added to your 5 is 7 -5. It's a 2. So you have a fair result. So I mean, you're talking around. Everybody's sort of confused. Everybody's got their own idea. Well, I don't know. I think you should come in. I think the Barrow trying to draw us out. You think that but obviously beside the people who've also gotten the message, who know Victor, you could probably figure out that the Mike, the guy running the Hollow Pub, he seems to know a little bit about everything. And everybody, kind of like, yeah, Mike's a good guy. You can ask him all kinds of stuff all the time. So, he would probably be a really good ally for, if you're looking for information.
Okay. And as far as I can tell, apart from our small group here, no one else has received this message?
Nope.
Okay. And do I know, would my character know what Victor Laxman looks like? Like, I don't know.
How long have you been around the cavern?
If I can make a unilateral decision about that, I'm thinking it's only about like a couple of weeks, like not very long.
Okay, so probably you wouldn't, you may have heard the name, but you probably wouldn't have, seen him at all.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'd approach Mike and ask whether he recognized the kind of human figure in the apparition at all.
Okay, so you go over to Mike, and he kind of scratches, big scruffy beard. And he's like, Laxman, huh? Wow, nobody's seen Laxman in since the DRC left. He was kind of the DRC's tech guy. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. You got this? Anybody else get that? And he kind of looks around the room. He's keeping it low because this is the sort of thing that would send large crowds of explorers into a bit of a tizzy, and they're already kind of tizzied, so they're already tizzied. They may not need tizzied anymore, but he kind of looks around to see if anybody else is looking at their key trying to figure this out. So maybe you should go see if anybody else has got this same message. Waxman, huh?
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Meva, what are you doing?
I have notice skill. Hang on a second. Oh, adequate.
It's adequate.
Adequate. And I've been around the cavern off and on for 8 years.
So you'd know who Laxman was.
I do know who Laxman was. I actually read all the Telenon journals. Took forever.
So what are you up to? What are you doing?
Well, I might know Mike. And
yeah, probably.
I might have a clue whether that was Laxman in the apparition. But honestly, even as a player, the first thing I thought when you said that this apparition kept appearing all over the cavern, I thought, this is somebody trying to communicate. They're stuck somewhere. So when I heard half of the word trapped and I heard half of the word dark, I'm kind of going, bingo, this is somebody trapped somewhere who's trying to communicate.
Okay, so I would say, okay, you're there, and you four have sort of congregated. Mike's kind of pulled you over and such. So start talking to each other. It's time to discuss what you're going to do.
Mike is there.
Mike's there. He's Leo.
Mike is there. So I'll ask Mike.
Behind the bar.
Did you see that? Did that look like Laxman to you?
Well, I don't know. It was kind of fuzzy and it was human shaped and it certainly sounded like a guy talking. So it could have been Laxman, but I don't know what he'd be up to. And if you guys all got this message, then obviously something's up. Doesn't look like anybody else did. What's the info on there? Let me see that again. And kind of leans over and looks at one of your keys and well, where do those coordinates go?
Surveying.
Yeah, you can make a surveying roll to see what you know.
Okay.
So here what's your surveying level?
It is good.
Okay, dokes, that's a 3. And this one's also another difficulty of 5. So got a 1+, 1-, 0. So you didn't, it's a little higher, you're 2 points below.
I have a question, a mechanics question.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of these stack, like surveying and notice?
What actually you can do, and this is a great point to talk about this, is that one of the things that you can do with your aspects is if they would help you, you can invoke them. And you invoke them by paying a fate point. Everybody starts with 3. And there are ways to get more. But this is what aspects, one of the things aspects are there for, is that if you can find an aspect that would help you out, you can invoke it and do one of 2 things on a roll. You can get a +2 on that roll, or you can re-roll.
Aspects, do you mean like the journey aspects, or do you mean some other?
Anything that's an aspect around. So journey aspects, your high concept is an aspect. If there's any sort of aspect that's on the environment, you can also make rolls to create aspects, to change the environment and make something important. And that can be all sorts of things. Anything from, like I knock a bunch of boxes over, so now boxes are everywhere. Or you can, get a crowd going one direction or whatever. But is there anything on your character sheet that you think would help figuring out key coordinates, in terms of your character, in terms of your high concept or your journey aspects.
And all of you can be thinking about this.
Yeah, this is not just and crosstalk. If you have an idea, it's like, hey, did you look over there?
It's like
talk it over.
I have really good rapport. Chances are I might know somebody who, is really, would probably know where those coordinates are.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I can't decipher them,
mm-hmm.
perhaps I've talked to enough people to know that. I was like, oh, hey, but we could ask Buddy. Buddy will know. No reason. We just want to know, do you have any idea where this is, kind of a thing.
So you have a couple.
Find it via the key? Can't you find coordinates via the key?
It will tell you where you are.
Oh, but it doesn't tell you where to go.
But now, Erica, you have got a good thing there is that also there's another mechanic, and we'll talk about fate points. Fate points are essentially authorial control. You can kind of move things back and forth. So not only can you invoke things with them, but if you're willing to pay a fate point, you can suggest a detail. Wouldn't it be cool if this were true? And then you wave your fate point at the GM, and if they like it, they take it, and it's true. So you could go, hey, I've got this fate point. I know a guy who is awesome at this.
Okay. Well, I could use a fate point for that. Is that good for everybody? Because we kind of need to know where this is for sure. I mean, we don't want to spend all your fate points doing rerolls. So I could perhaps convince you that I ran into somebody in my bumbling about the cavern who seems to be very knowledgeable.
Just out of
curiosity, good at this kind of surveying stuff.
Oh, Alana?
Could I just ask him? Right?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great to me. I was just wondering before we do that, if we know what our current coordinates are and we know, can we get a bearing and a distance from where we are to those coordinates just through basic math? Is that something we know how to do?
Your coordinates are what the coordinates are for the Callow pub. So
that's such a bad misplaced.
The character, as a character, if you have something like a research skill, you could roll research to see if you figure that out. Experiment is another good one, because then you can kind of test things out.
Research is my strongest skill, so if that counts as research, I could try that.
Yay!
Yeah, absolutely.
Math.
Research is a great skill for just knowing things and figuring things out.
Powers of math will save us all.
Okay, what's your research at?
+4.
Okie doke, and this isn't that hard, so we're going to give a difficulty of 4. Okay. Actually, this isn't really that hard at all, so we'll give a difficulty of 3. How about that? Okay. And now we'll roll our dice up here. Got a -1, but that still gives you, 4 minus 1 is 3. You match, so you've tied. Okay. So you have and here's another option. You know a little bit, but in Unwritten, you have the option sometimes of making success at a cost. Which means that you get to take that and make it a full success, but it means something goes wrong. And it may not go wrong immediately, but that means that something will go wrong for you in exchange for being able to say, oh, I did it. Or you can just go with your your tie, or you can invoke an aspect. It could, and you're the well-traveled anthropologist, right?
Yeah,
probably invoke an aspect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you can make an argument that your high concept or your journey aspects would help you out here, you can invoke spend a fate point and invoke, and then you'll get a +2 or a reroll.
Well, I have Seeker of Knowledge and Well-Traveled Anthropologist, so I could imagine being well-traveled would give me kind of context for a certain kind of linguistics or interpreting, kind of decrypting the terms and number systems of other cultures. So I could argue that that would help me figure out like what I'm trying to do with the key device and how this coordinate system works.
Definitely. So if you spend a fate point, you can choose a +2 or a reroll.
Okay. +2 would bring me up to +1, I guess. So it'd be like a very
+2, actually.
Oh, right, because I'm breaking
0.
even right now. I'll do +2. That sounds safe enough.
Okie doke. So yeah, so that's an adequate result. That's a 2. No, fair. I apologize. It's a fair result. So yeah, you can definitely, like, okay, it's way over there. It was like this. It's definitely someplace out in the lake. And it's definitely, but there are a number of islands out there. Kavir is out there. There are a couple other islands out there, and you're thinking it's got to be one of those.
Okay. And can I get a sense of distance? Like, is this like a nearby island, or would this be like opposite side of the cavern?
Listen, there are a couple little islands out in the water there. You can't entirely sure which one, but it's got to be one of those, unless there's something happening, in the midair over over lake somewhere.
Okay. Well,
it's
I share that.
Out to the cavern wall.
Yeah.
It's
right.
in the lake somewhere.
Okay. Well, I think we definitely need some more info before we head out in a boat or something.
Joke. Carol, what you doing?
Islands aren't too big.
Okay.
You could commandeer a vessel.
Well,
this is a boundless enthusiasm. Sorry. Let's do it. Go. We have a heading.
I'm really good at doing research, and I've already deciphered into Dunny the letters that we have. I would have to get into my Dunny dictionary to actually decipher this into the English. And I have the numbers and the letters deciphered. They're F2, F4, B3, F6, B1, B8, B0, F1. So I'm not too sure what that means, but I got that far. Doing research is the thing I do, and I love to do. So I think my character would want to go back to the library and search into maybe some maintainers' books to see if there's any written history about any kind of ghostly activity. But also if there is what I was thinking about was like if somebody had used a linking book that went bad, and as they're trying to link back into the cavern, somehow they're caught, and so I would want to do some looking up information to see if there was anything in the history of this happening before.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys have got a couple different things that you want to be doing. Do you want to do a quick split up, like work on different things, or do you want to all go do some research together? I mean, either way works. You just let's decide amongst yourselves how you're handling it.
So do I need to pick like a level or something and do a roll?
When we get to that point, when we get to the actual research, we'll be doing that. Okay. But I mean, this is you are the 4 people. Mike's sitting there watching you. This is interesting. And it's like, okay, what do you guys talk? What are you gonna do? You're in the pub. Go for it.
Okay, so you guys, some of you want to go to the library. Where else were we talking about going?
Seeing if we can find any information about whether in the past they've had an aberration show up in the cavern before. All of us together can do it quicker, instead of just one person plugging through it.
I think Cassie is a team player. I think she'll be happy to come to the library. And again, she's not quite ready to get in a boat yet. So
probably makes sense. Like, I don't know what Victor Blacksman looks like even. So going to a library and doing a bit of research before, you know, getting a leaky boat and going across the lake. Probably a good plan. I'm down with that. Just saying.
I missed it. I'm sorry. My daughter was asking me a question.
Oh, no problem.
Sorry, the surface was calling.
It always does.
What did I miss?
Sounds like thus far, the Kathy and I also agree that maybe going to the library first before running amok, getting in a boat would be a good plan.
Yes, because instead of ghostly apparitions, I want to look up communications and linking errors.
That's good. Yeah, linking errors was what I was wondering. If somebody is trying to, they're stuck. They're stuck in the link is what I was thinking. They don't know how to undo.
Tomorrow also hang out at the library too, and maybe if we're nice to them, they'll tell us how to deal with somebody's link, since they know how to link just as an instinct.
So do we bring whiskey with us then? Like, I don't know.
Do you borrow whiskey?
Like, how do we get on the good side of the bar, really?
Treat them like
the whiskey will help you feel good, at least.
Treat them like people.
So bring sandwiches.
Okay. Yeah.
You got to bring iced tea.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so you're all headed to the library.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, the library in Denis is, you know, the place where all the linking books are, but there are lots of other places. There's leftover, DRC stashes of research and that sort of thing. And you're all going to work on it together, right?
The Guild of Archivists has a extensive presence there, and has gathered up as much Denis lore as they can. And they got a spot by the library that they run herd on.
Sure. They also have that office that you link into. Yeah. All those books back there that you're just dying to touch and open, and they don't let you do it. And I'm thinking,
that's in Dakota.
Yeah,
Dakota Alley.
That's in Dakota.
Question for the group. If we're the only ones whose keys are working and everybody else is freaking out, are we just covering our keys and sneaking out of the pub? Or are we going to be like, hey guys, research fast?
That's what I would do. I would definitely sneak.
Yeah. Why would you sneak? What shouldn't, if somebody...
The point is not to sneak, though. The point is not to sneak. The point is to chitter chatter among ourselves and be like, what? I don't know. To act confused.
Save the adventure. Yeah.
They're going to ask why we're the only ones.
One's doing what? Everybody's probably milling around talking to people.
Oh, yeah.
They're milling around. They're poking it. I mean, some of them are starting to work again. Everybody's just trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah.
So we're just going to be like the mod squad and take off because we're the cool kids who got the message. Is that
absolutely? I'm in. I'm in.
I kind of wanted to clear that up.
But the
You're
point
the cool kid.
The cool kid.
Do what everyone else is doing. Okay? Do what everyone else is doing, and then just sort of trickle out of the room.
Saunter out.
We shouldn't do that because I have a really low deceive skill. Let's just get to the library. Forget I said anything. Honestly, anytime I've had to roll anything for deceive, I always get a natural one. And
the universe does not like you lying to people.
The best way to lie is just not to say anything.
There you go. Okay, so you guys gonna move together and get to the archivist's little stash of stuff. Sounds like you're gonna so you all have kind of different things you're looking for, and y'all gonna kind of hit the books all at once.
You get there. A guy who's the former Rezang, Rezang Bedell is sitting there holding court over his archive. He knows almost as much as Watson does. But if you want to know something about Denis history, this is the guy you talk to.
Can you trust him?
Oh, yeah.
We need a distraction? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's another resource.
About, you know, he is more than happy to point you in the right direction of what, you know, what books might have what you want to look up.
And this is another example of an expert, of an aspect. You have the aspect, the scene has the aspect friendly expert. So that's something that you might be able to use on your rolls.
I would definitely ask him to decipher what I have deciphered into the dunny. We have to take it one more step. We have to put it into English so we know what is being said.
Okay. So are you going to write that down for him, or are you going to show him your key?
Write it down.
Good question.
I've got right.
The nomad trust no one.
Written down. You got it written down.
I just want to point out, I'm noticing this as a player, that so there are only 2 different letters that are marking the numbers. There's like the F sound and the B sound, I guess, and there are 2 words, I guess, and one begins with the F sound and one begins with the B sound. So I'm kind of wondering if those letters are sort of abbreviations for those words, maybe. Just throwing that out there.
The first word is faets. The second word is briets. So yes, that's a very good point. So the F would be the faets, the B would be the briets. If I had the pronunciation wrong, sorry about that.
No, you're doing good.
But I would say yes. I would say you're right.
Caro, tell me again what you got for the letter and number combinations, because I wrote the numbers down, but I didn't write. I don't know the letters. I know the numbering system very well, but not the letters.
It's F2, F4, B3, F6, B1, B8, B0, and F1.
Okay.
Okay. So now here's another place where I can display another Unwritten mechanic. So you never seen like those in the TV shows where they have those montages, you know, like in the old like A-Team where like they're like building stuff and dun dun dun, and 80s music in the background. So now we're going to do the unwritten version of that, which is, a montage of all 4 of you like cracking open the books and looking through and writing things on chalkboards and whiteboards and that sort of thing. It's called an investigation scene. So each of you is going to choose a skill that you're going to be using this investigation scene. And we're going to roll it all against a difficulty of 4 in this particular case. And this is going to give you possibly from 0 to another number of questions that you get to ask the GM. And these aren't, simple things like, what's on the thing, if it's something that you could just see, no, it's not be quite. This is where you draw conclusions. You can say, I think X and X and X. Is that right? Or, given, there's a ghosty sort of thing, and this, what do I find out about, X? So this is where you can dig in deep. So let's hear from each of you. What skill are you going to use for this investigation? So, Carol. What's Carol going to do?
Investigation scene.
What skill are you going to use?
Oh, well, my knowledge of the language and the numbers. And
on your character sheet, there's a list of skills. Let's see here, and you're the.
It's the little thing that looks like stair steps.
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to be seeing this? Because I'm not seeing anything.
So on your character sheet, there should be a section that looks like a little block of stair-stepped.
I'm actually don't see a character sheet.
It's one of the files that was linked to in the Discord chat before we started.
I did not see that. We're in New Jersey. We have just gotten our power back. In fact, I was working on my phone.
Okay.
I had asked Ellery about it. I said I was we just got internet back, so this is something that I need to search for.
Yeah.
Is it?
I've been doing this by scratch. I've been doing this by memory. I'm sorry. I don't have this.
Are you on Discord? If not, can you bring up Discord?
Okay. Let's see.
I think I'm
gonna have to get
to the Zoom group chat too.
Give me a moment.
Okay.
Discord. Let's see. I have to go into, where do I have to go to get into Discord?
I actually just sent it to the, it sent to V. Why did it send just to V?
Did it go to my email?
No,
we're going to be putting it into the Zoom chat itself.
Yeah.
Zoom chat. It sent files to me and I didn't get them because we were down. I didn't see it. So
okay. In the Zoom group chat, you should be able to see a PDF file now.
In the Zoom chat, I should be able to see a file.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing that. I have a chat here.
While you're working on that, let's say, Meva, what skill will you be using?
Okay, there we go.
None of them seem useful for this.
Yeah, but do you want to download it to there, because then you'll have problems getting to it if they email it over here.
Ellery, is there a way that you can email it? Because yes. I can open it up on my laptop and I'll work from it right there. If I open it up here, I may not be able to get to it.
No, you'll have to be changing windows.
I'll have to be changing windows back and forth.
Oh yeah.
If you can message her your email, or if she has it already, I don't know.
I have it.
Okay.
You got it. Okay.
We're relying yet. So Meva, you just said you didn't know which skill you wanted to use.
Sure. None of them seem very good for investigation. Well, does the library have a restricted section?
Not this one, but you're the modern nomad adventurer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I noticed on your character sheet on the good level, there's one called a skill called surveying.
Right.
Surveying is a skill just in terms of figuring out the lay of the land. It involves civil engineering and that sort of thing as well. Mm-hmm. So you could use that to use that skill to go over maps of the area, maps of the cavern. Sort of
actually, yeah, I'm gonna look for all of the maps of places that people don't usually go.
Sounds great. So you'll be using surveying, which is you're at a 3.
Surveying.
Erica, which skill will you be using?
Actually, strangely enough, I was thinking of using will, simply because being in dusty libraries when you could be adventuring across lakes takes a lot of willpower. And sometimes you need that person that's like, no, like just one more book. We can do it, guys. And just
should come up here.
Stick to it.
So I think there's
I'm
actually
invoking stick-to-itiveness.
Okay. Now we can handle that in a different way.
Okay.
You could make a separate role. It's called an advantage role. So you're going to be creating an aspect on the scene.
Cool.
Which you can be is could be something about what's what I'm looking for. It could be something about everyone's sight, or focused attention or something like that.
Yeah.
And then depending on how well you do on the role, not only will everybody be able to tag it with their XP, with their fate points, and invoke it for help. If you do well, you'll get free invocations on it, so that you can use it without having to spend your fate points.
Okay.
And you can pass those to other people too. So it's just like, hey, Alana's going to be doing a lot of research here and she needs a little bit of help. Well, I got this +1.
Up? I need to open this up.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting.
So do you want to try that?
No, yeah, let's do that. Okay. But would I actually use like rapport then to be like trying to build?
You could do that with rapport. You also just made an argument for using will for it.
Will does make sense, right, guys? Yeah. So let's do will. Let's stick with will. And
okay. This is not going to be very hard. So I'm going to put a difficulty 3. Okay. And your skill for will is
3.
3. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. So the dice.
Did I just demotivate everybody? Did I just like make everybody take off for a Big Mac? Like.
Oh, you got 3 minuses and a plus. That's -2. It means you rolled a 1. You got a total of a 1 there. Now do you have one of your, actually, you have the boundless enthusiasm aspect in yourself.
I do have.
You want to spend the fate point to give yourself another roll.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do that. I will spend a fate point to use my boundless enthusiasm to, rally the troops.
I don't know if I can get this to print, but I can try.
Okie doke. So let's do a quick roll here. Here we go.
2130 is at the office.
You got a +1. So that actually gives you a 1. A result of a 1.
2130.
So that's successful.
Okay. Good.
So you create an aspect on the scene that you can tune it the way you want, but we're gonna nothing's gonna stop us now.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Say that.
Dun, 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 dun,
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Sorry, no,
and because you succeeded.
That was perfect. The pop up with the hand. That was great.
Yep.
I'm really enjoying this.
Oh, good.
I knocked over a stack of books. So I had to pick them. Yes, we have books stacked on our floor. We're not tidy people.
Yeah. So there's an aspect in the scene now that nothing's going to stop us now, and you have a free invoke. So that means that's like it's someone, you or someone else can use that to invoke nothing that's going to stop us now without having to spend the fate point.
Okay.
Now you are also something to note that you are in 1 fate point left out of 3. And we'll talk about ways of getting fate points back in a little bit. Okay, Alana, finally, what skill are you using?
I mean, we're in the library. I'm good at research. I think I'm just going to use my research skill.
Cool. So we got surveying, research, and Quaxo is being motivating. Carol, did you get a chance to look at that character sheet yet?
Yeah, so I got it, and I apologize. I honestly I never saw the PDF. I'm so sorry. No wonder why I was so confused. I kept thinking I've got to write it all down.
So you see your skill section?
Yes, I'm looking at that, and I would have to be doing the research. The
research
+3.
as well. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so we're gonna go through. So we got research, and surveying. We're gonna go through them. I'm gonna roll a number for each of you, and then we'll compare and see how we're doing. Okay, so Caro, here's your roll. The dice rolled a 0, so you're at a 3.
I'm at a 3. All right.
And Meva, what's your surveying?
Good. +3.
3. Okay, we'll do a roll. Oh, you're not getting very far there. It's a -4, so you're at a -1, which is technically the word for that is terrible.
Yuck.
Could we invoke that nothing's going to stop us now?
Yes,
Would
we
that
could.
maybe be a good idea to like
Absolutely.
sum that up?
There we go.
Let's not do terrible.
No, and I have will too.
Yeah. So, are you going to pass her your free invoke?
Yeah, I'm passing her my free invoke.
Sounds great. I'm assuming you want to reroll because a +2 is not going to help you very much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, here we go. Better. It's on -1. So, you're still, I mean, you've got a 2 so far. Yeah. And then we'll compare that to the difficulty in just a second. Okay. Cassie, it's your turn, Alana. We're gonna do a roll. You have a -1 to your research. What's your research?
My research is +4, so it's still a 3.
3, okay. So, this is sort of a difficulty 3 sort of situation. And Caro and Cassie have tied, and Meva is at a -1. So you're not going to be learning very much, unfortunately. It's really hard. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't mean this is the end. It just means that you guys have to figure out, what are you going to do differently to try to figure something out? And then if you figure out a good way of doing something differently and are successful at it, then we'll get another, we'll try another investigation roll.
I've got an idea.
Go for it.
I think that we should go back to the pub, see if anybody's there that and pull other people in, maybe ask around a little bit. Maybe they know a little bit of history, or maybe somebody's seen this happen before. Just if we can't get information from the books, we've got to get information from people. Or who was that we said was going to be there? I
mean the person that's hanging out there?
Yeah, yeah.
Gary?
Gary.
Yeah. The former Rezang.
Rezang Bedell, head of the Guild of Archivists.
Yes. What if we hunted down Gary and let's hit him up for information, because our books aren't doing it, our survey isn't doing it. We have to get information from someplace else.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just to clarify, do I not get to ask any questions with my 3?
Well, the 3 was compared to the difficulty of 3.
Okay. So
which is a 0.
Okay.
So this is you're working on how do we play our information a little bit more here, and so yeah, Gary's accessible, so go for it, Ellery.
There's another option. The library that we're at isn't the only library. We could take the boat and go out to the island, where there probably is. It probably leads us to a house, right? So if these coordinates take us someplace out there, maybe at that house that's out there, there are books that would lead us to information. I mean, we could cut our losses and go out and find the coordinates to see what we see.
Got both options.
It's up to you whether you want to, talk to the guy that's here, or just go ahead and hunt it.
Have Gary with our frustrations makes sense.
Yeah.
Then he gets the chance to lord it over us. It's like, see, this is why you need an archivist. Let me tell you, this is how you do research.
If somebody wants to talk to Gary, I would like, this is probably stupid, but if we're all sort of huddled up in the library talking and nobody else is around us, I will say to you guys, now look, if you don't want me to do this, this is probably a good time to say so, but I could try to go into the Dakota building and get into the office and see if there's anything in there about what Laxman was doing.
I'm thinking that the office is really, we were bouncing that idea around, earlier.
Intrusion. It's only at a fair, but I could try. I mean, as a player, since I play myself in Uru, I can tell you that I have an intrusion skill higher than my characters because I used to do what is called architectural adventure, which is essentially going places you're not supposed to go and just sort of claiming ignorance. Oh, I took a wrong turn. That hobby ended on September 11th, 2001.
Oh, well, yeah.
But it was quite fun before that. And I've been to the tops and the bottoms of many buildings, historic buildings especially. But I wouldn't be too afraid to try it if you guys want me to. If anybody's up for going with me and has the intrusion skill too, that would be nice. Because, going alone is...
Okay,
I'd be
so
happy to support you by creating some sort of diversion by chatting people up who might be looking in that direction.
Yeah.
That would work. That's a good
Well, part of my aspect of what's over there has to be, I want to know what's over there and I need to find a way to do that. And I'm going to go there whether you want me to or not.
You just needed a good excuse. That's what you're saying.
Do not enter sign. This is the gal who, they say, what would you really do in these games? I'm sorry, I would be like, barrier? What barrier? I'm going to go investigate the guild hall.
You're a cone kicker.
I'm a cone kicker. But I'm also a former architectural historian's assistant, so I know to be careful. I'm a careful cone kicker.
Careful. There's a great bit of alliteration there. Careful cone kicker.
Careful cone
Sounds
kicker.
like an aspect to me.
Yeah, exactly.
hey,
that sounds like a fantastic aspect. You should write that down. Careful.
Cautious cone kicker.
I like it. Great.
So you've got a lot of different ideas going right now and a lot of different directions you could potentially do. Let's narrow it down to one or two that you're going to do right now. What's the next step that you're going to take?
I feel like if none of us know what those words mean, the like faets and briettes, we should at least just ask Gary if he knows what those words mean. I feel like, those could be common words. We should just ask.
Yeah.
So like two of us could stand chat up Gary and you two could run off and like be in
Dakota.
Right, because it'd be good to know what Victor Laxman was up to begin with, and B, we need to know what he's trying to tell us. Possibly he doesn't want us to end up in the same situation. So like maybe figuring out what his like unearthly message has to say would be a good idea, as well as figuring out what he was up to.
Yeah,
we could split up. I could go with you, Caro, and like.
Okay.
Chat up Gary.
And I'll come with Meva.
Yeah, and let's hit him up for information.
Yeah.
See if he can tell us anything.
Let's go through talking to Gary first, while the other two are traveling over to the stash of DRC notebooks and stuff. So Gary's sitting there at his desk. He's, got his nose in a stack of papers. It takes you a couple seconds to get his attention. What? Oh, hey, hi. What can I do you for? What do you need? What can I look up for you?
Wow.
Words.
Go for it, Caro.
Words. You have good language stuff. What do you need translated?
We have 2 words that needs to be translated. And I'm currently looking through my notes. I don't have any idea or any hint what they are. However, we believe that they have to do with these coordinates that we have that showed up on our key. So I would let him look at the key since he's an important person. I'll trust him. And I think I would also ask if he happens to know anything about the ghostly figure that everybody keeps seeing around the cabin.
Yeah. Wow.
See if he's willing to talk.
Wait, let me see that key again. Whoa, Laxman. Nobody's heard from Laxman for since right after the cavern closed. No, okay. So that first word, fahets, that's easy. That one's the Denis word for first. And the other word, briottes, that's the Denis word for second.
Aha.
So first and second. And those coordinates, hold on, let me pull up my Denis map. And he reaches under his desk and he pulls out a map that's got, lines all over it. And it looks like he's compiled 15 different maps and figured out, and he's there with a protractor and a ruler, and he scribbles down the numbers off your key. And he's like, well, that's interesting.
Interesting how?
Well, those coordinates, if I'm measuring right, those coordinates are that island right there. And that island right there, that just might be Katha Island.
Katha?
Katha Island, the island that belonged to the Guild of Illusionists. That big old fancy building, nobody's been able to get inside. People have gotten onto we've gotten explored. People have gone onto the island around the outside, and but nobody's ever been inside the building.
Sounds like a place to stay away.
There's some really funky stuff about that building.
Buildings.
I thought about it. She's gonna want to climb through the tires.
No time.
Man, are you guys gonna go check that out?
We got it.
Tell me you're gonna go check that out.
We gotta check. That's good information.
We'll come back and tell me whatever you find, because I can add it to the archive about Katha.
Sure
we don't know a lot about Katha. I mean, we know some of the history, but
you got it, Gary.
Okay. We'll write it down and we'll tell you what we find. And if we get in.
When did you get this message?
We were all in the pub, and we were the only ones that got it.
That's weird. What?
It just occurred to me that none of us tried to reply.
Just sitting there in the pub?
I hadn't thought about that.
Like, maybe we should have been like, yo, for a sec, like, who is this? Like, have we met? Maybe.
Are you a creep?
Anyway, maybe later.
Yeah, it's funny that all girls got this message. No guys got.
Now I'm suspicious.
Clearly, the game was planned that way.
He's flipping through stuff. He's like, Katha Island. You were just sitting in the pub when you got this?
Yes.
Yeah. Minding our own business.
Huh.
Do you have any books on Katha? Like maybe I could take along with us to the island just in case. Like then we don't, try something that everybody else has done. Maybe we can find a new way in.
Let me,
How about? Do you happen to have a map that shows the makeup of that island, of that building?
We've got the external
schematics.
Yeah, we've got an external. We've never been able to find anything about what the inside of the building looks like.
May I borrow? May I borrow? Take a picture on my key of the external map that you have.
Yeah, he pulls out a out a sketch. It's not a huge island. There's an island. There's a little island off to the side. A little tiny rocky island off to the side. And the building is square and kind of has a bit of a sphere to it. But other than that, there's just an outline of a building, thing that says, note that says, main door here. The only other note is that explorers that have gone up to the island, they'll wander around the outside and there doesn't seem to be any windows. There's weird lights, which is pretty normal for Denis.
Has anyone gone underwater to look? Like, has anyone snorkeled around the base to see if there's a underwater route in?
Not that I know of, no. That's a good idea. Let me get that. Let me write that down so I can send it over to the maintainers. They should go check that out.
Let's do this.
What about the little island that's next to it? The little part.
It's just a little island. Looks like some sort of there. I mean, there's a kind of wall around something.
Sounds like something to check out.
Wall.
But there's not any way in. It's just a wall.
How tall is this wall?
Mm.
No reason.
Right, let me check.
Like, do I need 40 feet of rope or 20 feet of rope? I mean, I know nothing.
Need a hook. Need a hook to hook on a rope.
Looks like last time somebody checked, it was about 10 feet tall.
Oh, well then.
That's not bad.
Don't need a rope. Not that I'm planning any sort of, illegal incursion onto.
Yeah.
I am.
Utmost respect.
I will.
I will. Everybody would think that was the most awesome thing ever because nobody's been able to get in there. I mean, that was supposedly the headquarters of the secret police, the Denis secret police. So,
should we be busting in?
The wall is that's tempting. I have to see this wall. I have to see this wall.
Sorry, just to clarify, is this wall with the secret police headquarters, is that on Katha Island or is that nearby?
The Guild of Illusionists had their headquarters on Katha Island. So he pulls up a website. He pulls up the Guild of Archivists website.
There's Wi-Fi in the cavern, man. Like,
there's Wi-Fi. I mean, they got Wi-Fi in the cavern.
There used to be a webcam in the cavern that used to show live.
Are you telling us that that's what we should do as players as well?
Hold on, and he's going to give you the link here in a sec.
Wait.
I'm going to give you the link just as soon as I can type.
Typing.
So he pulls up this website and pulls it, flips his laptop around and shows you.
Okay, that's spooky looking. That's cool.
I lost it.
Hey, isn't that some of
For those of you who can't see the chat, then you can just go to the Guild of Archivists, archive.guildofarchivists.org, and look up Katha Island.
I can read it out. I can read it out loud. It's not a huge. There's like, all right. Katha Island was one of many islands that dotted the waters of the main cavern of Denis. It was home to Farish and later served as the headquarters of the Guild of Illusionists. The mansion on Katha Island was built in 5043 DE, at the same time that its owner, Farish, was named Grand Master of the Guild of Illusionists by King Yabelshan, and secretly tasked with leading the Relimnia, the Denis secret police. It was said that Farish delighted in illusions, puzzles, and mazes, and his home was host to many such attractions. Many high-level government officials were often seen at the parties hosted there, and the house's popularity led to the Denis government selling a number of other islands in the lake to other elite members of society in 5095 DE. In 5102 DE, Farish's daughter died after leaping from her bedroom window in the middle of the night. Records indicate that she claimed to see spirits. This, combined with her own death, led to rumors of the mansion being haunted. Farish left the home a year later, unable to continue living there with his memories. When he departed, he left the mansion to the Relimnia as a base of operations. Their covert comings and goings only served to fuel the rumors of hauntings on the island. The DRC had kept Katha Island closed to explorers. It was last reviewed in September 2006 CE, when the council unanimously voted for suspension, while the area was still in phase 1 of restoration.
Well, that only makes it more ominous.
Dun, dun, dun.
Definitely want to find a ball of string.
Oh, I might have one.
Okay, that would be great. Just a thought. I don't know. Talk of
there's
mages.
that rope.
Yeah, thieves. Yeah.
There's that rope you need.
Yeah.
It might be in my little kit here.
Let me know what you guys find.
Ooh, well, this sounds like an adventure.
That's cool. That's cool. Hey,
Cool.
it goes back to
All right. So, Kara, should we catch up with the other two, or?
All right. Yeah. So let's go over to the other two.
I don't know anything that you guys just did.
Exactly. We'll fill you in on the boat ride over. Don't worry.
You guys are breaking into the Denis storage stack.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
Crying.
I'm really short. I can squeeze into tight places there.
Same here. I'm a caver. I can squeeze almost anywhere.
So you guys are going you're looking at one of those offices in Dakota Alley?
Yes.
Okay. So how are you getting up there?
Go behind a tent into the Dakota building.
Okay, so you're gonna try to go into the Dakota building. Now it's the door is locked today, so it's been locked for a long time.
Do we
Those
have
are DRC offices.
Intrusion.
do we have an option to go to our Relto and get in there through our book that's on the shelf?
We can do that. Most of us have been through Teledon.
Now, we could definitely try. I mean, it takes you to Phil's. There's Teledon, and then it will take you to the Baron's office, but that's across from the actual Denis office, the DRC offices. The DRC offices are the ones you see through the spy room.
Oh, that's right.
But isn't the DRC office in the Dakota building?
It is in the Dakota building. Yes, it's in Dakota 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
which is across from the spy room. But it's always been locked. It's been locked since the DRC left, which is why in the game you have to go to the spy room to look into it.
That's
so the question is, how are you getting in?
I guess I can use my intrusion skill.
You're gonna try to just like jimmy the lock open, that sort of thing?
Sure.
Before you do that, is there anyone around who would who would be opposed to this action? First of all, is there anyone around? And second of all, is there anyone around who would actually care very much about this if there aren't any like DRC folks around?
Well, I do also
the DRC hasn't been around forever. And no one really hangs out inside the building. People hang out outside. But
they're probably all helping. Just saying, they're like, hey, we need a battering ram. Everybody's like, oh boy.
Okay, so probably people are generally curious about this. It's not.
But the entrance to the building is behind the tent.
Yeah.
Convenient.
So you're going to go upstairs and try to get through that door then?
Sure.
Okay. So you go upstairs. Now, here's another place where we bring in another mechanic from Unwritten, since we're displaying mechanics. Now, the thing about aspects is they help you out, but they can cause problems too. You could, when they help you out, it's called invoking an aspect, but when they're not helping you out, the GM is compelling the aspect. So, Meva, you have this aspect that says, what's over there? So, there's a couple other doors over on that floor that you don't know what's behind them. So, you have an option. I'm compelling the aspect, which means that I am offering you a fate point. That if you go over there and you let that aspect cause a problem for you.
I go, squirrel!
Yeah. Then I will give you the fate point. Okay. If you don't want to do it, you have to give me a fate point.
Ooh.
So, either way. And this is one of the primary ways you get fate points back from having, from spending them, is by letting your aspects cause problems and add drama.
Who is with me? Who came with me?
Cassie.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how to get into that open window.
If I start heading off in another direction, is she going to say anything?
I don't know.
I mean, I could do that. I don't have great skills for breaking in, but I do have good social skills. And so I could try to appeal to your better judgment.
The question is your decision whether you follow your aspect into adventure, or you do what you were planning to do in the first place. It's just the question is, what do you decide, and who gets the fate point?
Oh man, that's hard because I'm also the cautious cone kicker. So, what I would rather do is find out the information we want and then go look at the other office.
Sure. Then that will take. Then you pay me a fate point, which will take your fate points down to 2. Since I don't think you've spent any yet.
Do I still lose the fate point if I'm planning to do it afterwards? Because I'm still following that aspect.
It's not causing a problem for you, so you lose the fate point. So you get fate points by making drama.
Mm.
And I can't support in a way that would mitigate the drama.
And what?
I mean, could I help out if you accept the fate point? But then
you try to talk me out of it.
Right.
The thing is that a compel that doesn't actually cause problems isn't a compel. So so when you say if you accept it, you're accepting that you are causing that your aspect is going to cause problems of some sort.
Okay.
So if you can get out of it, it's not a fate point. So, but yeah, it's up to you.
Gosh, it would be so much fun.
Why don't we take the boat, go to the island, see what we see. If we don't find anything, we come back and try and get into the office.
Well, we don't even know about the island at this point.
They don't even know. Like, we were talking to Gary, and they're already there. So like this is nothing.
I was commentating as a fly on the wall. My character was not there. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You don't know.
The compel is on the table. So Meva, you've got the choice.
The cautious me would go, nah, find out first.
Okay.
But the ADHD me would go, there's other offices here, and maybe there's information in there that we could find. Okay. So
you're going to be compelled, are you? Maybe the offices are conjoined on the inside.
Could be. Yes. You know what?
Yeah.
Like hotel rooms.
Since this is here to give everyone who's watching an example of how this game works, I'll play along with you.
Okay, there we go.
We'll go against me and
you're doing it for everybody else.
I'm doing it for everyone else.
You're a giver.
I'm going squirrel. What's over there? Very quietly going, wait a minute. Those offices probably have even more information that even the guys who worked in that one weren't privy to. Let's go find out what's in there.
I make a half-hearted effort to stop her, and I fail.
So have a fate. Meva, you get a fate point, so you're up to 4 now. So you've got a little good stockpile there. Okay, you go over to one of the other doors. There's a bit, they're locked too, so you're gonna have to kind of work your way in. You're gonna try to jimmy the lock a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a museum. I know how to open weird locks.
Yeah. So do you want to use your
I know how to
intrusion?
open common locks. I know how to open weird locks.
Do you want to use your intrusion?
Yes.
Okie doke. What level is your intrusion at?
It is at fair.
Okie doke. Here we go with the roll. And that's a -2.
Oh, really good you got those extra fate points.
Yeah, I mean, you've got an extra fate points, and you are a modern nomad adventurer. That'd be a great way to spend a fate point.
I might as well spend it.
Yeah. Hi. You want to reroll, or reroll is the only one that's really going to help you here.
Yeah. How much is a +2 going to help? So.
Yeah. Here we go.
Kind of broken even on this one.
Yeah. -1. So it's still not quite. You're not quite there. You have a couple options here. If there's another aspect that you think will help you, you can tag that as well. You can
Will, I've got Will.
You can spend as many fate points as you want, as long as you spend only 1 point per aspect. You can't call in Nomad Adventurer again on this one, but maybe that Cautious Cone Kicker one you could. Cautious Cone Kicker one you could.
Yeah, I look at Cautious Cone Kicker.
You want to spend a fate point on that? That'll leave you with 2.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, it's not liking you.
Oh, for pity's sake.
Either of you have good athletics? Can't you just like...
I do have athletics.
Give the door a good boot?
You're gonna try to kick it down?
Well,
Just a
okay,
thought.
here's the cautious part of the cone kicker. What floor are we on?
Second.
And how many people were in the plaza?
Oh, not very many. Not really.
I'm gonna look out the window first. There's a window in this hallway.
Sure.
Look out the window. See how many people are still in the plaza.
There you can see that you can kind of see some figures down at the ferry terminal from where you are. But you really don't. There's nobody really down like next to the tent.
Okay, I'll kick the door in.
Okay. We'll do a roll on that one then.
Well, you know what? If I were going to
I'm a bad influence.
You're gonna do it. Go for it. All
See,
the way.
now, unfortunately, I just rolled again.
Oh.
Wow, the dice roller does not like you, Meva.
Okay, so here's a couple things. You've got some options here. You can decide. This is a failed roll. You can choose to succeed at a cost, which will mean that this will be a severe cost. Means something goes bad.
Enough.
Well, they are kind of they are kind of
like a broken ankle. Like, is that?
That's a possibility.
You tried to kick the door, and
That's
you
a
managed to
possibility.
get it open, but you break your ankle in the process. That would be an example. Yeah.
I don't know if it would be broken, but probably you'd probably you'd sprain that ankle pretty hard. Or if you have another cost that you're willing to suggest, yeah, definitely. You can try, once again, go through aspects, spend some fate points. You've got 2 fate points left, and this is a new roll, so you can use some of those aspects again. Of course, you're starting to run out of fate points.
Or you could give up and go, yeah, there's nothing in the office.
I mean, can't I also...
You know what? Obviously, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm going to go back to the office I was going to go to in the first place. This is the cautious part of the cone kicker kicking in.
You want to give it a swift kick, just to like a caution, just like darn it, kick it and then walk away.
Sure.
Okay,
I'm
sounds
not
good.
gonna break my ankle to do it. Sure.
Yeah, you do kick it, and it does open. Unfortunately, you're a little off balance. You weren't expecting it, and you fall forward through the door, which is unfortunate that there's no floor on the other side of that door.
Shoot.
So,
Sorry. That was a bad idea.
Once again, this is something that compel caused an issue. So you can't get out of it once you accept it.
Yikes.
Do you have anything to pull me up? Or am I injured? Or
you have a consequence. You can see at the kind of the bottom of the character sheet proper, there's a section that says consequences. Consequences are aspects, but they represent things that they represent things that you've done that have not worked out very well. So you've got a moderate consequence of sprained ankle, which means it's something that I can compel against you. And since it's a moderate one, it's going to take a little bit for it to go away. You would have to wait a couple scenes, and you would have to get somebody to give it some medical attention. Otherwise, it's just going to stick with you.
I have medicine.
I do too. And it's also my stunt. So hang in there, Meva.
Yeah.
When we find you in the bottom of the pit.
Okay, so Cassie, you hear, wow! What do you do?
Did we lose you, Cassie? No, okay. You're just muted. You're muted, dear.
Okay, great. I'm unmuted now.
Yep.
Okay,
You
so
hear a bunch of cussing.
Yeah, I hear a bunch of cussing. I see Meva fall into the building. I don't have any first aid skills, but it sounded like Quaxo does, right? So can I use, since our key devices are still working, can I use mine to contact Quaxo and call in some first aid help?
Absolutely.
And then, of course, I'll also see if it's possible for me to safely go down the stairs. I want to just go be with Meva and make sure things are okay.
Yeah, sure. You could probably just climb down a little bit.
Okay.
there's no bleeding.
Okay.
Lots of dust. No broken bones as far as you can tell. I mean, you're in pain, Mother, but you're not in, like, oh my God, excruciating pain.
Right. Well, I do have medicine at adequate skill, so I probably feel it's not broken.
Yeah, nothing's broken. You got lucky, so to speak. But
just me saying, man, that was stupid.
Okay, doke. So, you want to do? You're gonna call Quaxo over?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call Quaxo. Let her know what the state that Meva's in, and then just help Meva get back up on the one good foot, I guess.
So no problem. Carl, you coming with?
Yeah, I mean we've been talking, but we should be done with him. So we're
we're on the way.
Yeah, we're on our way. Definitely.
Okie doke.
So we're gonna pick up the pace a bit. Yeah. Of course, boundless enthusiasm will be like, someone's injured, and they'll be like, super like, why is that?
It's my time.
Something's on fire in the cavern. It's because it's like,
we know who it is.
The background. It's like,
we know who it is.
So you head on over.
She didn't tell
you. So yeah, you head on over. You go up the stairs. You look down, and it's through the open door. And
I say,
that you guys, are you down there?
I was right.
Because I'm an idiot.
It's okay. I'll come down. I could probably like assess you at least and see if we can fix you.
We can help carry her out. At least get her out of
it. Yeah. Like once I know,
I probably have a rush in my travel bag.
So yeah. I'm guessing you want to go ahead and do the first aid.
Yeah. So my medicine is good, a +3, but my stunt is that I'm first aid certified, and I gain a +2 on medicine rolls to treat non-life-threatening injuries. That's key, everyone. Non-life-threatening injuries.
Don't tempt fate.
No moral gushing. Like don't do that.
Okay, so this is a standard thing.
Non-life-threatening. She doesn't have a concussion. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think I've got.
My pride is injured.
Okay, so it's not a hard thing. So it's going to be difficulty 3. You got a medicine of 3. So let's do a roll. All blank, so 3, 3, 3. But you had a +2 on it, so that's success. So yeah, no problem. Being a first aid sort of person, you know where some first aid, where the DRC left some first aid stuff that people have been leaving around for you. Get it all wrapped up, and you can manage to kind of get her out of the hole back onto the second floor.
You can probably do that. Maybe even fashion her a crutch.
Oh, there you go. Sounds like a good idea. No problem.
Thank you.
No problem. Just doing my job. Get started in the
first place.
Okay, so
why do we keep meeting like this right now?
Yeah, really.
So nothing was found in the offices at all.
Well, we haven't really looked. I don't think we've really looked yet.
We didn't.
We didn't get that far. Did we?
We just went and got her out of the hole, but we didn't have any. We didn't look around in the hole.
Yeah, I'm very curious about why this door was locked but gave way with just a very light tap. And it's suspicious. So I think we should look around.
Before we go up, can we look around?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
Might be a good idea.
What's
they might have some gear that we can take too.
Now that I'm here, what's over there?
And we can let you guys know that we know what island we're heading to, and it's like super spooky. So we're gonna need some gear. We're gonna need we can find some rope and things like that. We're going to the Guild of Illusionists, home base, of the secret
old building.
Dunny. So this is a big deal.
Oh, great! Can we bring some light sources, like some fire marbles or something?
Yes.
Yes, and a wall. There's this 7-foot wall, right?
Yeah.
So we got this wall that's a mystery.
We could just boost somebody up on my shoulders.
And hold your phone over. Take a picture before you go over the wall.
Talk Meva over. It'll be fine.
picture, look at your phone first, and then see what you see over there.
That's really smart, Carol. I'm gonna remember that for like
very
life
smart.
lessons.
That's brilliant.
That's a good one.
That's brilliant.
It really sounds like something I would do in real life. I swear.
Except because we have our keys on a strap, you're not going to drop it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very helpful.
Okie doke.
Right.
So, what are you guys gonna do now?
okay.
Well, what do
Look around
we?
and see what's down here?
Yeah. What do
Yeah,
see
so we
in
should
this
like
room?
roll notice or something like that and try to see if we can find some gear that might help us.
Yeah. Is it dark or are things like in plain sight?
I mean, it's there's a lot of rubble because the floor above has collapsed.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Who wants to make a notice roll?
I'm +2 for notice.
I'm
Does anyone have
+2
higher?
for
Notice I'm +1.
Okay, I can do it
I'm
then.
adequate.
Yeah, go for it, Cassie.
I'm also +1, so go ahead.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yay, you're the lucky one.
So you start. Who?
Keep doing all the rolls from now on.
I really.
So which one? Who was that? Was that Carol
That was me. I
or
think.
Cassie?
Oh, Cassie.
Cassie.
It's Cassie. Okay. Your notice was what again?
+2. Fair.
+2. So 4. So yeah, I mean, there's there's some good gear in here. There's some old records. There's some DRC records that look like they may have fallen down. So it's possible that the floor may have even fallen down recently.
Really?
So there are some there's a couple there's some old there's a hard hat so yeah, it looks like something recent caused this to fall down.
Like maybe someone else was in here recently. You said that there were some DRC records.
There's some like DRC those notebook sort of things you said like in Dakota Desktop, but there's not really anything in them. It's just like you caught like some of their spare stuff.
Okay.
Are there any ropes?
Empty field logs, like free notebooks.
Yeah, free notebooks. Those are important.
I'm stuffing those in my backpack. Empty notebooks, yes, but
yeah, I mean, and there's hard hats. There's some ropes. There's.
We're going into a mysterious old building. Bring the hard hats.
Okay.
We need the ropes.
Definitely need ropes.
Yeah, I mean, there's ropes, and there's kind of the sort of things that you would expect for like your standard res things. Like I'm gonna go work in some part of the cavern. It's a little unstable.
What about tools?
Tools. See, what kind of tools would there be? Okay, here's a question. If you're thinking of what the sort of standard sort of kit a resident would carry to go do work in restoration, what do you think would be in it?
Hammers and chisels.
Hammers and chisels. What else?
A clip light for the hard hats.
Hard hats, and
Light.
Yeah,
the
lights.
Like for the hard hat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a brush.
Flash.
Like if they
Yeah,
found
brushes,
anything that they were trying to see if it was delicate, maybe like some bristle brushes.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Flashlights.
Flashlights.
What about repelling gear?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you stumbled into a storeroom or anything, but yeah, there's reasonable stuff.
Okay.
So
Backpacks.
We should gear up with whatever we can get away with without drawing too much attention. We don't want to be like clunk.
Salvage.
Clunk, clunk. Oh, not up to anything. No, clunk, clunk, chink, chink.
What about extra backpacks to carry all this stuff we're about to take?
Yeah,
well, that's a good idea.
We can always hang a backpack under a backpack.
Yeah. You guys are gathering stuff up?
As long as it's not too heavy, you can carry a backpack under a backpack.
So
The
Cassie,
game with inventory.
while you're gathering stuff up, Cassie, you realize that there's actually a smaller notebook in one of the packs that actually has some writing in it.
You said I find that? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Is it written in English or in Dani or some other language?
It's English. actually, it looks. I mean, someone's been taking notes on Katha Island.
Oh.
It's very, they're very, sort of precise engineer notes. Talking about, the Great Zero was giving some weird readings from the vicinity. Strange pulses under the, pulses in the lattice. We should investigate this. No, Kadama is being too careful about this. I think we need to look into this. Talk over with Watson. Maybe we can get Ingberg on. I can get Ingberg to go with me.
Okay. So I share that with everyone.
Is it Laxman's journal?
I mean,
it certainly seemed like something Laxman, right?
Yeah.
That seems to be what everything's pointing towards. Yeah. Do we have a copy of that that you can share, or?
No, unfortunately, I didn't get that.
Okay. What was the name of the person that the writer wanted to come with him?
Ingberg. Michael Ingberg, DRC member.
Can we find him?
He's one of the DRC people that's been around for a while. Since Ingberg hasn't been around since his daughter was slaughtered by a Barrow many years ago. That
would probably keep you out of the cabin for a bit.
Yeah, he went on walkabout. Had a lot of things to think about. Okie doke. So you've got some gear together. Let's say that you have an aspect on. You guys are carrying an aspect with you of resin gear. So it's something that you can use fate points on to invoke. So
I can't believe we haven't been around this long without hearing the term resin.
Resin gear, yeah. The guy you were talking to in the archive, he was a former Resin. Reseng Buttle.
Oh, Reseng. Sorry, two separate words.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah,
Reseng. I'm like, we're gonna die, aren't we? Wait, no.
Short for restoration.
About resident engineers. Oh, we're using Reseng. Got it. Took me a minute.
Yeah, the guys who would be in Unuru who were giving all the talks, stuff like that.
Yeah. The Resengs. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He was one of them.
That's why it surprised me. I've never heard the term. I've been around for your.
Oh, really? Yeah, but yeah, Reseng Buttle, and there was Reseng. God, what's some of the other Resengs? Wolf was one, and you're on mute, love.
Migalski.
Daguerre.
I still see Daguerre around. Yeah. Nick White was a restoration engineer, and then sort of formal.
Yeah. So you guys are geared up. What you gonna do?
Go hop in.
Investigate the office.
You still want to investigate the office,
guys?
I don't know. I think we have our destination, and we know that's where Vector Laxman was heading.
Okay.
I'm thinking we probably don't need to bust in any more offices myself. I'm thinking we pop by Mike to pick up some extra sandwiches because we might be a while. And maybe some water. And head across the lake because I don't know about that algae. It's not blue greens, but I don't know if it's hazardous at all.
Well, don't drink it. Don't drink it.
Yeah, there's all sorts of warnings. Don't drink the lake water.
Look, so how you getting across the water?
There's boats down by the docks, aren't there? I thought there was a couple that were still floating, wasn't there?
Yeah, should be able to find something at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't say that I have a skill in paddling and stuff, but I totally do.
Yeah, it's not a problem. I mean, if you've got a survival skill of any decent amount, you're fine.
Yeah. People might notice that we're stealing a boat. I mean,
but weird stuff happens in the cavern all the time. People are grabbing things and going around,
We're just gonna drop some birds further in the lake. Don't mind us.
There's people out on the lake all the time.
Yeah, we want to go get a selfie by the gate of Karaf.
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody has an issue with people being out and about on the lake.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, you know.
I will be back in about 2 minutes. I have to go sing to my children.
We want to
take a break, hydrate, use the restroom.
Yeah, that's true. Water is out. Oh wow, you can't even see. That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah. It's green, so that's probably the problem.
That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna grab a snack then. I'll be back in a minute.
Definitely need to juice. Sugar is a requirement for this kind of stuff, I find.
Absolutely. You gotta juice up for it and get ready to go all night.
Right on. Yeah, I better bring a bag, is what you're saying? Like
I'm keeping an eye on the Mysterium discourse. If anybody who's watching has any questions or anything, feel free to throw them at me. Let me see if anything's come up on the YouTube. Any questions on the YouTube? Bring the Barrow sandwiches. Yeah, that's watermelon.
Watermelon, yeah. Barrow, they do love their ham sandwiches and watermelon. The question is whether if you can find the old DRC cafeteria though. That's the really mysterious place.
That's still a deep secret is where the cafeteria is.
We've never gotten out of the red things, for all these years.
We're gonna have to hunt down Gary. I'm sure Gary will have words to say with me about using him as an NPC. Otherwise, I just would have made him show up if he wasn't, driving across the country.
Yeah. So, any questions from out there, or people just all running to get their own stuff?
Everybody's really enjoying it.
Oh, good. I'm glad people are enjoying it.
Evidently, over in the Conlang chat, they're talking scripts. So.
Oh God, I miss the Conlang chat. That's my life over there. That's the other side of all my of my obsessions is Conlangs. So I just need to make a game about Denis Conlang's role playing and include all three of them.
I wonder if you could totally make a game about conlanging.
There's a game called Dialect, which is kind of like that.
Which we have and we have not yet played.
Yes, I know.
It's the eternal GM issue. We have games and we have not played them yet.
Yep. So let's convince the conlangers to keep talking after the game is done, so that I can get involved.
That's fun.
Yeah. Now start a discussion about Sapir Wharf, and then they'll never be done with it, and I can slip in.
Sorry about that, guys. Thanks.
No problem. Everybody's taking a break a little bit of a break right now. I think Cassie, Alana's actually still grabbing a snack.
Cool.
I admit I've always been too chicken to DM. I've actually snooped around the Fate system and Savage Worlds and stuff because I'm trying to find something that I think I could do especially without having to buy all the D&D books and or all the Pathfinder books. And then trying to, I might, I have a short list of people who might be interested in playing, but yeah, I've just been a huge chicken, right? So I've never run a game. I don't feel as though I'm super educated in how games are supposed to be played. I'm used to I've only had 1 or 2 DMs, so.
Well, I think that don't underestimate the ability just to improvise and to tell stories. Yeah. That's all you're really doing. In some systems you've got lots of dice and rules you have to remember and that sort of thing. And
this is a lot simpler.
This is a lot simpler. The Fate system, of which Unwritten is based on, is there's a website called Fate-S as in Sam, R as in Robert, D as in dog, SRD, which stands for System Reference Document, fate-srd.com. And all the rules for Fate are there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think that's what I was reading.
Yep.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot more story based. And I was like, oh man, this looks like a lot of work for DM. If you don't have something like Unwritten to work from, it could be a lot of work for a first time DM, and for when you have a lot of first time players who might not be quick on the uptake, or oh yeah, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this, or like what's the realms of possibilities, like when they're still like new players learning the ropes of what you can and can't do.
Yeah. Well, I think I found that brand new players to role playing actually catch on to Fate really quickly.
Okay, good. Because
they don't have any preconceptions. You're just sort of like, okay, come up with an idea. And then you get surprised.
That is nice. Yeah, that's in certain way. I was like, I was really wanting to watch this whole thing because I wanted to learn about DMing. So lucky me, get to play as well and be one of the players. I'm super, super happy about that. But honestly, one of my main motivations is like, okay, let's just test out the system and then see like how the DM style works and like how much stuff you have to kind of have prepared and ready to go. And
I am while we have stuff prepared for this this particular session, and the 2 sessions we're running, I am notorious for running off of no preparation whatsoever. And I've run at least 5 or 6 one-shot convention games of Unwritten with no preparation. And part of that is because being the Myst fan that I am, I remember a lot of that stuff. So it's just like, oh yeah, Kadish, she was a jerk. Let's go with that.
You and Ellery seem very well prepared that way. I was like, oh man.
But for example, it's improvisational.
Yeah, when we ran the game with the Cyan peeps a month and change ago, we had a little bit of an outline, and they, we had a rough outline. This is the history. This is the plot. And they went this way. So we
always do.
Yeah.
So we played off the cuff with that. I mean, Vee did fantastic with that, of going, okay, this is what because they used that mechanic of this is what's true about the world.
Which we haven't used in this game, but
well, we might yet.
It's called it's called the Deduction Mechanic, and essentially allows the players to direct the story for a little bit. Go ahead.
I will say, as an experienced player, I've DM'd Game Mastered only like twice in my life. Once was Changeling, and that was really fun. Once was D&D. That was not as fun as a GM. But I am a very experienced player, and even an experienced player, I can say this is a great system for a storyline like Myst and the Denis, because it's not all mechanics, and it's story based, and it's improvisational, and it's it has to make sense, and yeah, there's choice, there's consequence, and there's all of that, and no, sometimes it's not what you'd rather have happened, but it makes a lot of sense, and it's great. I mean, you don't have to be a first-time player to not have preconceived ideas about what gaming is to enjoy that, because I'm looking at this and I'm going, this is so much less clunky than the other playing system. The only RPG system that I could imagine being as smooth and storyline friendly as this would be the Babylon 5 RPG. If you modified it for this, I would imagine that would be the only one that would come close. That is very smooth for this kind of story.
Oh yeah, and Fate's very good for that. And there are a lot of other indie games that are very good for that too. The Firefly RPG is awesome that way.
I want to play that so bad.
Yeah, there's a Serenity. There's a Serenity RPG, which is earlier. That's okay, but it's the Firefly RPG, the later one, which is actually it's called a system called Cortex Plus, and it's very focused on the drama, and it's really good. So awesome. I suggest that. Plus, like I said, Fate SRD, all the rules for Fate there are free. Just in fact, like the majority of the actual Fate book is on that website because it's open source.
So, like, we should get contacts and we'll all play, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Sure.
And this is another thing. This is where I get to plug the Patreon again. We're doing a Patreon. And one of the things that we'll be doing with that is an ongoing chronicle that I'm going to be running for Unwritten. And I still have a slot open. So I've got 3 players. I want 4. So people here can start thinking about if they're interested and can commit to once a month, and don't mind being being watched by people all the time.
Is there a
Thanks for the reminder. It's like, oh yeah, live stream.
They have to remember that. Yeah, you are going to be in a live stream. So, not a time to talk about that embarrassing thing that happened at work today.
Yeah.
It's not the time to feed your face in front of the live stream.
Yeah.
So
something to think about. And
sorry, I apologize to everybody who's like grossed out by anybody eating juju besides.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the game. Actually, Ellery, what's the time check?
We are at, it's 6:45, so we've got about 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay.
Cool.
So
we haven't done to the island yet. But.
Yeah. And then of course there's the session tomorrow, which is at 4 Eastern, I think, or 4:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
It's in the schedule.
Okay.
And then we'll do another 3 hours or so, as people like, and we will continue. So, hi. What are y'all doing?
They have loaded up. They've gotten a boat. They're headed out into the lake.
You guys do anything special in the lake, or maybe questionable?
Oh, I totally lean over to take an algae sample.
Oh man. You gotta reach over, you gotta reach in and touch the water and see what it feels like, because really contaminated water makes your skin really dry.
There you go.
It's nasty, so you can't, I can't. I'm like the little kid. I've got to touch the water. I got to touch the water.
All 4 of us are going to lean over the side of the boat, aren't we? Please.
We are. 2 on each side.
Not
2 on each side.
Different sides of the boat. Like, let's not flip the boat.
I think I'm just kind of
all that gear we got just goes straight to the boat.
Put that in the middle. The gear goes in the middle, and the 2 on each side.
All the people on one side are trying to get things, and the other people are like, let's lean the other way.
It's like, oh, we didn't know we were traveling with crazies.
And the water feels terrible.
Like,
if you guys are doing anything,
for apparitions.
Oh, so go ahead, say again, please.
I think I'm just kind of nervously checking my key device to see if I get any more messages, and looking around to see if any more apparitions appear, because I'm just a little spooked the closer we get, so I'm kind of on guard.
I'm also watching to see if we're being followed.
Ooh. So you're looking behind, you're looking around, and we're looking at the water, Carolina.
I'm looking for fish. I want to see if anything's alive in there.
So you stick your hand in the water? Who's sticking their hand in the water?
Me. I am.
You stick your hand in the water, and the lake algae actually like sticks to your fingers. So your hand kind of glows. Your hand kind of glows orange now.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow.
True biologist.
I have instant flashlight. Wait.
You accidentally broken one of those glow sticks, and the glow. Yeah. So your hand is vaguely luminescent now. Try and wipe it off on your pants. Now you've got a glowy streak across your pants.
So if I take my shirt off, and dip it in there, I would glow.
Glow.
I think we are definitely moved into the questionable activities category. Whenever the shirts come off.
I'm only inquiring. I'm not doing. I'm only inquiring.
Okay. So, as long as nothing truly questionable happens in the boat, you guys, follow the coordinates, and you get over to the island. And I'll, let our story expert move from here.
So you get to the island. There's an obvious dock. So there's a place to tie up the boat. It's this amazingly elaborate Denis building from the outside. There's lights, and as far as you know, nobody's been in there since the DRC worked on Katha Island, and you don't even know if the DRC got inside. There was nothing in the notes, nothing in what you could find in the DRC notes and notebooks that they, what their explorations of Katha Island looked like, other than, they got there and something made them decide to, cut it off at phase 2 restoration. We're not going any farther. We're not opening this up to explorers. So whether they were being exceptionally cautious as the DRC was, or there was something there that freaked them out, or you don't know. But what you see is the dock and, a beautifully carved stairway leading up the side of the island to this elaborate looking mansion sitting off on the peak of the island. And there's, not a lot of vegetation. The Denis Cavern's not known for having a lot of plants around. But there's carved sculpture.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stone decoration. So it looks similar. It looks similar maybe in some ways to Kavir. Just that elaborate style of Denis architecture. It was obviously amazingly high status. This was a big deal.
So I'm naturally a suspicious person, and I cannot help but wonder if I search the statues, if I find a switch that would open a door.
Okay, so that would be a roll, Miss Vee.
Okie doke. Which skill are you using?
What would that be under? Is that under survey? Would that be under?
It depends how you're doing it. Are you checking out the lay of the land and seeing if something doesn't look right? Are you looking for little details? Are you playing with letters?
I am looking at the statues. I'm feeling around, and I'm trying to see if I feel a switch.
Okay. That is
Searching.
notice.
Notice? Okay.
Mm-hmm. What's your notice skill?
It's actually 1. It's adequate.
Okay, let's give it a roll. So yeah, you got a 0 on your roll. 1, 1. Yeah, you don't really, notice anything that seems, different or anything like that.
Yeah, there's nothing obviously switch-like that you can see.
I'll use surveying to see if there's any. Well, okay, if this is a mansion, and yet Gary said there were no windows or doors, that doesn't make any sense to me architecturally. So I want to look at the building, and I want to look at the lay of the land and see, and the statuary garden, and just see how everything relates to everything else, like use sort of a spatial sense that, to figure out if anything relates to anything else. And why on
stairway is the one? Is it the one that's going nowhere for show?
There isn't a window in this place.
We took a key picture. He gave us a key picture of the surveying map of the area.
Right.
So you wanna do that surveying then?
Yeah, I want to use surveying.
What's your surveying skill?
There's maps, and then there's seeing with your own eyes.
Yeah.
So yeah, surveying, please.
What's your skill?
3, I believe. Yes, +3.
+3. Okay.
Good.
We roll. You got a 0 on the roll.
For pity's sake.
And 0 is the most common roll in these sort of dice, so it's not a bad roll. But it's definitely obviously, it's weird that there are no windows or anything like that. Doesn't seem to be external, like there aren't balconies and that sort of thing that you would expect from a high status thing. But
the land
it is
the
big.
landscape itself.
This is the Guild of Illusionists.
The landscape.
There are probably windows that we can't see.
Eventually,
That's not a
for
bad
suckers. The staircase is for suckers. It's a trap. There's a real staircase somewhere else. I'm very suspicious of that staircase. I'm not stepping 1 foot on that staircase. Like grass if I have to. I'm like, nuh-uh.
I want to look at the wall. I want to check out this wall, and I want to take a key picture.
I'm definitely willing to boost you up so you can get a picture.
Give me a leg up. Let's take a key picture.
You're actually from where you are on the dock. You can't see the little island with the wall.
Are you gonna have to take a boat over there?
Yeah.
Should we go over to that little one first then? Yeah, there's like a smaller island with this like little short wall, but nobody knows what the wall surrounds. So we're like kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
We think that might be a secret entry onto the island.
Okay, before we go anywhere, can we just see if there are any markings on the ground, any hatches, anything underfoot that might be relevant?
That's a good idea.
Surveying?
I guess that would be more surveying.
Well, you could use it surveying. You could use notice for that, whichever you prefer.
They're both +2, so I guess I'll do surveying just to kind of look around a little more broadly, since there's a lot of area here that we haven't really explored.
Okie doke. So yeah, you got a 2 on the roll, so that's a 4. I mean, this area here doesn't seem to. I mean, it's it's not a standard way of building such things. You'd look at it as like, okay, that's kind of weird. That's how there, but it doesn't look unstable. It doesn't look not viable or anything like that. But at the same time, it doesn't seem to actively reveal, there's nothing that stands out as like, that's just bizarre, in terms of just the landscaping.
It looks very directed. Like the land around the staircase is built up so that you can't wander off.
Okay.
So it's definitely directing people.
I can find a way to wander off.
Challenge accepted.
But what do you think, guys? Like, there's that smaller island.
That's got my interest.
Me too, Carl.
And if there's, should we go there? We'll just shove off and go to that other island quick?
Sure, if it's nearby.
I'm curious about something though. Before we do that, maybe the algae has something to do with it. Is there any feature at all on the house? Anything? Markings, scroll work, stuff like this? Anything?
There's decorations.
Mm-hmm.
There's decorations. There's things look like they may be lit by fire marble, or there's some sort of luminescent, but nothing that says this is connected to the lake algae.
I was saying, maybe put your hand up against something with the lake algae. Maybe it's the lake algae that opens something.
I got the glowing hand.
Yep, you got the glowing hand.
While I was surveying the ground, I didn't see any footprints or anything like that, did I? Any evidence of someone else having been here recently?
Or me?
You can, the ground is scuffed in a few areas. There's a candy bar wrapper laying over that away, so obvious other explorers have been.
Pick that up and put it in my backpack.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That. No.
Some explorers.
No.
Get it DNA tested and then return it.
Yeah, the next thing on the whiteboard in the Toccata Plaza is going to be, please don't litter in the cavern.
Yeah.
So you can tell that people have been on this dock before. They've milled around before. There's no obvious disturbances.
Okay. It could just be anyone who stopped by here by boat.
Anybody who's wandered around. Kind of once people figured out which one of the islands was actually Katha Island, people have been poking at it, for ages.
Forever.
I saw what you did there.
but nobody's ever gotten in. So
right.
The
So
secret
maybe-
is that they've been going in and out, so they must have had a way in and out. There's got to be another dock.
Yeah, let's go over to the little island then.
Okay.
I mean, I also suspect if no one else who has tried this has been able to get in, that our way in may somehow depend on this message that we've received, the numbers and the first and second. I suspect there'll be a code we have to enter somewhere, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
First, second. But why would they be repeated? First this, first that, second this.
I was sort of speculating. I have no idea if this makes sense, but since all of the numbers are marked either F or B as like first or second, maybe there are two numbers that we kind of compose out of them. There's the first number and the second
Two
number.
levers. Pull the
Numbers.
first lever 3 times. Pull the second lever 4 times. Pull the first
Yeah, maybe it'll be something. We'll probably know when we see it.
lever.
By
Aha!
adjusting the slider.
Tried
Oh, no.
adjusting the slider. No,
Why does everyone hate the sliders so much?
it's terrible.
They weren't that bad.
Rand doesn't like them.
Just-
The problem was butterflies, so there we go. Like we tried something completely different. But,
head over
yeah.
to the little island.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah, little
Yeah.
island.
It's around the back of this main Katha Island, and it's a little island. It kind of almost looks like it got natural formation that got sliced across the top, like the Denis just took a large butter knife and went. Eh. And there's a big round wall.
Oh, round. I drew it square.
It's round.
Round wall.
Round wall.
Round wall, about 10 foot high, sitting on top of this.
Round wall.
Island?
Okay.
So,
So someone's gonna have to stand on my shoulders and then hold their key up pretty high for 10 feet.
Are there any?
And I'm like 5'8", so then you'll be like 5 feet off the ground on my shoulders.
Are there any features to it? Anything distinguishing? Bricks sticking out, crenellations at the top, anything?
it's a Denis wall. I mean, it's not just a plain. It's got scroll work on it, and
It's a fancy schmancy wall.
It's a fancy.
Fancy schmancy wall.
Fancy schmancy
So,
wall.
but there doesn't seem to be any entrance.
It's out of place. It's out of place. Why?
Are there
A
arrow
wall.
slits, murder holes, anything?
Yeah, it just seems
Yeah,
out
it
of
doesn't seem to be
place.
a place that they could drop boiling oil.
Flaming oil. So it could be a prison. Since this was secret
Or it
police,
could
it
be a
could be.
cistern for all we know. Like I'm thinking it looks like a cistern, like a well. Like a nearby fresh water source that they've hauled off so nobody else can take the water or contaminate it with the lake water. That's round walled things are usually for storage.
Yeah.
Silo.
Exactly. And they had steps down inside them in places like Morocco. And they used to build, to get in to the very bottom to be able to unload said cistern or storage silo. There'd be stairs inside. And sometimes these stairs would actually lead to like secret passages. This is what it reminds me of. It reminds me of places around the Mediterranean and Morocco.
Have you been to these places?
No, my folks have, and I also read The Walking Drum by Louis L'Amour, and there's like these sorts of things in there. I feel like I've been there because Louis L'Amour took me there.
There we go.
That's an aspect of architectural history that I knew nothing about, and that I am glad that I met you.
Yeah, you should definitely read. That's a good book, anyway.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
Kara, do you want to crawl up on my shoulders and get a key photo?
I think we should do that. I think we
Yeah.
should get a key photo.
Okay. All right.
Two is the tallest people, and I'm short, but yeah.
And you're short. So is it us, Cassie, or like we have?
Right.
Sounds like
So-
it.
I don't have any.
Who's going to be on the bottom?
Yes.
This
But that's
might be
about it.
athletics.
Mhm. Who's going to be on bottom? Who's going to be on top?
I'm kind of beefy. No one wants me on their shoulders because of these guns. No, sorry.
If it's only 7 feet tall, it only takes one person on one person's shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll stand. I'll be the shoulder person and hold the person, somebody else on top of my shoulders.
Okay. Okay. So the people who are doing that, we're going to do a quick athletics roll, just to see.
I don't have athletics anywhere on my skills, unfortunately.
So it's
but I have a
0.
sprained ankle. It's my highest skill.
Okay, so we'll hope that my roll doesn't suck. That's gonna happen.
I will do it.
Okay.
I will trust you. I will stand.
I have a fate point left. You okay?
I also do have a +2 athletics, if that would help. I could do it.
Maybe you guys should do it then.
Okay, so
what's your athletics?
I have a +2 athletics.
Which is better than 0, which is what I got.
So if you want to climb on my shoulders, I can do that.
Mine is the plus.
Boundless enthusiasm can only take you so far.
You may have to repeat what you just said, Mima.
I said my athletic skill is great. I am seriously an athlete. Yeah.
Okay. And is there any penalty?
No, would it be a minus since I have a sprained ankle?
You have a sprained ankle, and that could cause a problem. Yes.
I'd say so. I don't want you on the bottom.
No, I wouldn't be on the bottom. I'd be on the top.
Right.
Still gonna hurt though.
Yeah, it'll hurt, but that doesn't mean I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the question: how much of a hindrance would that be?
I mean, it does sound like it would be a problem. It could be problematic. It's almost like something might compel you to have a problem.
We're getting
But does that give me a fate point as opposed to taking it away?
It depends. That's your choice. Whether you're going to let it be a problem or not.
Oh,
you have the choice.
Problem, I won't do it. But I mean, if I put most of my weight, the question is, are you strong enough to let me put most of my weight on one side?
Well, I'm apparently fairly strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
We'll so let's get a athletics roll from Cassie. So
I'm worried about this. Okay.
Oh, you got a +1, so you got a 3.
Okay.
This is not a hard thing to do. I mean, you're just kind of just kind of hunkering down, and so that's not a problem. So you can be pretty stable. So, and Meva, you're going to get climb up.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have this sprained ankle.
Nope.
That might cause a problem.
Stop.
So I've got a fate point.
Most of my weight on the non-sprained foot.
No, but I've got a fate point, and that says it's going to be a problem. Do you have a fate point that says it's not going to be? You got 2 fate points left, so it's your choice whether this becomes an issue or not.
If you have a fate point, oh, you mean do I want to buy you off? Is that what?
Yes.
You're asking? No, let's let it be drama if we want to.
Okay, you get a fate point.
Drama's good. Drama's good.
All right, you have you get a fate point for your troubles. So
all I need to do is take one picture.
Yeah. So
it'll be fine.
Yeah. You're reaching over.
Fall backwards after that. Well,
no, you're doing it with your key hand.
Doing what with my key hand?
You're like doing the arch. Are you holding your key over the top or like that?
Holding the key over the top.
Okay.
On the wall.
So you do lose your balance while you're doing this. Which unfortunately, Cassie's kind of stable, but she kind of, you lose your balance. She kind of wobbles a bit. And so what ends up happening is that you're hanging from the top by this arm with your legs dangling in space.
I'm hanging there.
But did you get a good picture?
Suddenly, I put my key in and I'm taking a lot of pictures because this isn't good.
Yeah, so that we can go to the pub later and say, isn't this hilarious?
Yeah. So like, okay, let's
yell again.
My Instagram is going to love this.
With a very helpful squat on the ground.
Okay, so what's everyone doing?
Actually, I'm gonna run in and try to like put my hands up and try to stabilize. Like I know which foot of hers is good and which one's not good, so I'm gonna run up and try to like push, like give her something to stand on with.
Wait,
sure. Let's make a quick athletics roll. It won't be too hard. We'll just see if anything catastrophic happens.
Okay.
So we'll get a quick roll here.
My roll, so.
Yeah.
I get the picture.
It's not. You didn't do a really bad roll. So I'm not going to make it a problem now.
Okay.
You know, since you've already in the problem, it's like you're kind of stable.
Okay. I've kind of got your foot, and you're not swinging anymore. At least.
Okay. But should I get the picture?
You got some sort of picture. I mean, you're still kind of hanging there, so you would have to, you know.
If you could try again, like give it a shot.
Well,
okay.
All it needs is a turn of the wrist to do it.
Yeah, there you go. So, the picture that happens from the inside, Eleri.
So you get you've got kind of an angled shot, and what you can see is a series of hedges. That seem to be in some sort of pattern.
Oh man!
That hedges like plant.
Wait a minute. Does that have to do with these numbers F2, F4? So like, is it one of those hedges that's a puzzle? Where you have to.
The shot, you can't tell. All you can see is that there are hedges. They're probably about 6 feet tall, 6 feet high. So when you're walking in them, you can't really see over them.
That sounds kind of like a hedge maze, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a maze. Yeah, that's a maze.
We have a floor plan of the maze.
So those numbers that we found might work so you can get through the maze to the door.
If we can find the start of the maze, we have to figure out how to get in order to start the maze in the right spot.
Right.
Yeah, can we tell from the picture if there seems to be like an entrance point or exit point to the maze, to the hedges?
No, you've just got like a little slice through part of it.
Hopping over sounds like a bad idea. I can't hear you, sweetheart.
I'll be right back, but you guys keep going.
I mean, if we haven't tried this yet, I feel like it's been suggested, but can we just actually do it? Can we just like run our hands along the wall and walk around the perimeter?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a wall.
It feels, okay, there is no point of it that feels like hollow or soft or anything.
Okay. How did they get in? What's the point of a maze being inside a wall that nobody can access? That'd be kind of a stupid place to put a maze if no one's ever going to get lost in it, right? Like, look at this cool maze I built, guys. Oh, great. Can we go do it? Well, no. Like, I don't want you messing it up. But like I love my boxwoods, you know. Like, nobody does that.
If we could figure out where the beginning of the maze was on our side of the wall, if there is a way to push on the bricks a certain way, like a certain pattern, then it would open the hidden door.
There has to be a way.
So if it's a place for illusion, then there's a door there, but we're not able to see it. So we have to do it by feel. We have to push on the bricks and see if bricks will start to move.
Well, I did just try pushing on the wall everywhere. I mean, more or less. And there wasn't
and it didn't find anything. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I almost wonder whether this small island is connected to the main island by some sort of underground tunnel, but that doesn't actually help us. I wonder if we're just missing like a linking book that we'd have to like link away from Denny and then link back to this point and like link to the interior somehow.
Another option to find a hidden wall or hidden door, like maybe it's just because there's so many like doodads carved on it that it's hard to see. Like we could try splashing the glowing water on it and then it would run into the cracks. And then if there was like a series of cracks that was like, oh, hey, door shaped, instead of being, interconnected stone shaped with all the fufura in it, maybe it would stand out.
That's not a bad idea.
Maybe that's like an exercise in futility.
Very missed.
That's not a bad idea.
Good idea.
I'd try
Also,
that.
Another thing to consider is there are still places you guys haven't looked.
Right. Is there anything else on this island?
Not on this island, no.
Is there anything else?
Is
on
there
the
a place
other
we can
island?
pull up the boat on the big island then that isn't the dock?
We can go down by the water and look at the other island from here.
I mean, you did, go up to the dock and see the statues and see the stairs.
But is there like a place that we could pull up that doesn't have a dock?
Not really, no.
Okay.
And you said that the stairs looked very designed to prevent us from climbing out of the stairwell, that it's a very directed path.
Yeah. But there is a path.
Okay, we could go up the stairs and just the stairs that go nowhere and see what happens.
Honestly,
maybe
one
it's
long
not a trap.
staircase just for going up, one even longer coming down, and one more going nowhere just for show. Right? It's got to be the third one. So where are the other two?
Yeah.
I'm very suspicious of these stairs. Sorry.
What's
So
under
we just
the stairs?
Are you going to go back to back to Katha, the main island? And
Before we do that, I want to go down to the water. If you're saying that the big island with the mansion.
Yep.
Oh,
Can't
no.
hear you. Sorry. Hold on. Try again. You like paused.
Yeah, you froze for a sec. I think you're on mute.
Oh, we can't.
It reminds me of Anone, but I want to go to the edge of the small island and look at the big island and see if there's something we might have missed. Because
Oh, no.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Turn around and take a look.
Okay. You want to use a surveying roll for that, or?
sure. And surveying is +3.
There we go. So you got a 3 on that. So you get a pretty good view of it. Ellery, you'll have to give him a little more detail.
You kind of see the backside of this mansion. Again, there's lots of luminescence. There's lights, but you still can't really see anything that looks like an obvious window or door. It looks like there's flat area around around the mansion, like there might be some gardens or something like that, but they're blocked off from you can't climb up the outside of the island and get without a lot of
so you don't have the Batman grappling hook sort of thing.
I don't know.
The cardboard capes bouncing behind us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's just something about that wall. It drives me crazy.
Now, as you're sitting here, your keys start to flicker again. Your keys are buzzing a little bit. They're flickering. You can see that maybe the apparition has shown up over there. It's a little bit of a distance. You can't quite tell, but your keys are flickering again, and the message pops up: access granted.
Access granted to what? Or reply. Access granted to what?
Do we hear anything moving in our vicinity?
Yeah.
No, it's just that staticky.
Right.
Lost the sweeps, and lost the creeps, right?
Now that's an unusual sound. That's an interesting sound.
That's a great reference, by the way.
Now you know like the full extent of my nerdery. It's pretty bad.
I'm with you there. Trust me.
And it flickers. I mean, it flickers. It's a quick.
Okay.
It's faster than the visitation in the pub.
Oh, remember, we can't hear you. We saw your mouth move, but we can't hear you.
I said neither of you look old enough to get that.
So access granted. That person showed up on the main island. Should we like boat back over there and see if that's like if it's trying to lead us?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we just take another quick walk around to make sure that nothing opened up on this like island we're on? Let's do that. Let's save ourselves a paddle. We'll just have a quick walk. Make sure nothing.
I want to look around. Obviously, something has opened up.
Mm-hmm.
So let's check the wall.
Yeah, nothing's changed on the wall.
Nothing changed on the wall. Okay.
I feel like we're maybe just getting encouragement to go up those stairs. I think we got a message saying that we are welcome to go up the stairs.
Yeah. I'm like, no way. I don't want to go up the stairs. It's the only way up.
You're gonna do it.
That's too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy. Exactly.
It's obviously a trap.
Yeah.
Trap.
Yeah, but honestly.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Okay. How many lives?
I mean, traps are fun too.
So
my Danish is out of the.
We'll just drive back or like boat back over to the main island. Everybody's in agreement? Caro too?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you nod.
All right.
All right. Paddle.
Okay, so you boat back over there. As you get to the dock, there's again, the flickery effect of this person.
Oh, okay.
At the dock, and then it flickers away. So you can't tell. It's like the visitations are happening more frequent, but they're shorter.
And we're still not picking up on any words. Any other words?
Any words.
All right. Well, let's climb the stairs, I guess.
We'll have to climb the stairs. We can't get around it.
I'm not going first.
So you go up the stairs. They're ornate Denise stairs. There's scroll work. There's carving. There's lights up the way. It's well lit. It's not it's very welcome to my fabulously wealthy mansion sort of things. You get to the top and there's you can see as you're getting to the top that there's a big huge gate. And on the gate is what looks like a key terminal that's actually been, it doesn't look like it was an original part of the gate.
Part of restoration then?
Possibly.
Somebody's taken over the house and they've added it for extra security.
All right, I will be, because I'm like that. I'll put my key in the terminal and register it.
Okay.
You ever see that scene from Dune with the box? Oh.
Huh? Oh yeah, right.
No, forget it. No.
Yeah, that was quite the scene.
You are older than you look.
Yeah. Your key pings, the little light grows green.
Now it's in my nexus.
It pops open. And the gate kind of rattles. There's a DRC stamp on the key terminal. So it was obviously put there by the DRC.
Okay.
So well, I mean, it looks like it opened.
Uh-oh.
Looks like it let go.
Know we're here. Like the DRC might know we're here. That's not good. Someone's over.
That's okay. It's not like they're in the cavern anyway. We have at least 20 minutes before they figure it out, right?
Probably.
So we go through.
They only have your key, so only you're going to get in trouble.
So we go through the gate, and what do we see? Do we see a door?
Yeah.
It will distract them if you promise to let me in on all the secrets.
So you go through the gate swings open for you, it swings back closed. Because it's a big hefty gate.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of gates closing behind me.
Now you're in. You're in.
And there's this beautiful double Denis doorway. There's scroll work. There's the symbol of the Guild of Illusionists in relief over the doorway. It's, here is the grand entrance.
Carol, you must be nerding out right now, right?
I am really so bad. I just want to, I'm taking key pictures all over the place because this is research heaven for me. Research heaven for me.
No kidding.
Yeah, really. That was great. So why is it that we didn't see this doorway when we first got to the island?
The way the stairway's curved, you couldn't see.
Couldn't see it. Okay.
And we got distracted by the little island.
Grand reveal.
It's that wall.
So you've got to this door, and this is actually we are at almost at the end of our time. So I think that's a really good place to stop.
Oh.
It really is.
You have got to the island. You have got to what looks like the front door.
Keyword being looks like.
You never know,
So what are you guys thinking so far?
I think it's a nice, smooth system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by the mystery of it all. It's a very different type of mystery than I'm used to, and I want to know more.
I'm definitely going to be in my night. I'm going to solve this problem. But I do have one question though. I am curious. The doorway that's very elaborate. Is there dunny writing on it?
There doesn't appear to be any writing on it now.
Yeah.
Just that's interesting. You said that
again.
The Guild of Illusionists.
Yeah,
just
there's the
just like the guild seal, and that's it.
Guild seal.
Yeah.
So if you imagine like what they have in the different guild pubs, it's that over an arch doorway, and this big arch double door, Westminster Cathedral level imposing looking. Yeah.
But no obvious arrow slits or murder holes.
No. No arrow slits. There's no moat full of lava. I mean,
what kind of Guild of Illusion? Don't even have any lousy moats full of lava or sharks with laser beams on their heads. Nothing.
Not yet. Not yet.
It's probably the second floor. You're right.
Yeah.
That would be giving too much away.
Lasers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I honestly probably would have turned around and tried the gate to make sure we could get back out. If I could just ask that before we go, because honestly, as soon as it went clunk behind me, I would have whipped around and been like, that sounded decisive.
Now,
I feel like we should have tried to jam something in the door.
Yeah. Can we get out?
There's a smaller key terminal on a rock on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, you put your,
If I try my key, will it open?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just definitely, we're not letting this sit open.
Okay.
Right.
I don't like being stuck, but
No, not being obvious. It drives me crazy in movies. People open a door and they don't shut it behind them.
Yeah.
You never know what's behind it. Yeah.
People have asked about having one of the discussion rooms to sit and talk more about Unwritten this evening. So let me see if we can get that set up.
Won't be the game, but it's decision.
Yeah, no, just talking about the mechanics and designing, DMing, that kind of thing. That would be
absolutely.
Yeah.
But we will continue the game on tomorrow's session.
Okay.
At the door.
I'm going to see if anyone's in the costume showcase panel first before I come join you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be open to more than just just us. And you can answer questions for for all the people who've been watching and enjoying it. You can, you're part of celebrities now, so you're the celebrities here. You're the
oh my gosh.
You have just been on an Unwritten Mysterium panel.
Yep, there you go.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stream for tonight. Thank you for everybody everybody for
Thank you
watching.
for running it. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you for running it and creating this whole game system as well.
Well, thanks
this is fun.
Trying it out. Yeah.
I'm so glad this exists.
Yeah. And tomorrow we're going to have even more fun.
Yay!
Absolutely.
Now that we got some of the mechanics down, we should be able to just like get going, right?
Yeah, I'm very rusty at doing this, so I had to get kind of a kickstart in there, but I'm beginning to remember a lot of the things on it. That's good.
Cool. Kenneth says we can use the memorabilia chat room for the people who have access to that. Vee, you have the control to turn off the live stream.
Oh, do I? Oh, okay, I have. Yeah. Okay.
You have the power. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Bye.
Bat time, same bat channel.